We are live, everybody.
We are
Wait.
live.
The setup is. Hold on. There we go.
Ah, so cozy.
How's it going? How's it going?
Oh, so awesome. How are you? How are you, Lola and Makini?
I'm good, and we also got Clayton.
We have a Clayton?
Hey, what's up?
A wild
Hey.
Clayton has appeared.
Welcome, Clayton.
Voila.
Yeah,
How
it's
you
been a
been,
while.
Clayton?
Not bad, thanks. Not bad, thanks, Lola. Quite busy working on Kozor, as you all well know. That's all I do these days. Just
That's good.
drawing every waking minute.
That makes
It's
me
wonderful.
happy. Makes me happy.
Well, that's good. That means we're gonna get like a top-notch product.
You will. It's taking its time, though. I'm working on it, but it's taking time.
You know what? Good things come to those who wait, Clayton. And I'm a very patient man.
That's very true.
Oh,
Oh, it's Ellie.
It's Allie.
And there's an echo.
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 Who has the echo? Is it me?
Yeah,
I think we have YouTube open.
Your YouTube.
I put it on, whatever it's called, mute, but I can.
You're good now.
Yeah, I turned on echo cancellation.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
I'm
That work?
smart. I do smart things sometimes.
You did the smart.
Yay.
Yay.
How you been, Allie?
Oh, I've been okay.
Okay.
I'm happy to have another female on the panel tonight because my topics are kind of fun tonight.
Oh boy.
We need the ladies.
Maybe
Cool.
I should go.
No. No. You should stay.
Let's see who's in the chat. Who's in the chat? Jason.
Probably G's in the chat. I saw him.
I was first.
Yeah.
First.
Where's Wolverine? He's
That's
usually
exactly.
first.
Exactly. I jumped right in.
And Clayton.
There you
go.
Not a number two, just number two.
Second
up,
place is
Maduro?
the first loser.
That's right.
Ellie was in the chat too.
Hey, we got everybody in the panel's in the chat.
Froggy.
The Link Master.
Mike McMahon.
Wait,
What's up, Mike?
He might be on the next Freak at You.
I don't know why he doesn't ever hop in here.
Guess what I did today?
Jumping
Where'd you go?
jacks.
I have to brag. Well, no, I can't do jumping jacks yet, but
Okay.
I biked a 1.25 mile
Wow, that's really good.
That's
That is-
awesome.
Whoa.
Something to be proud of.
in 8 minutes.
Awesome.
My knee,
8 minutes.
yeah, my knee is getting so much better.
Awesome. Did you have like surgery or something?
Amazing.
Yes, I had to. I tore my left meniscus, and they had to go in and cut it all off.
Ouch.
So
How'd you
I've
do
been
that?
in therapy. What?
How'd you do that? How'd you carry it?
I was doing side lunges with my trainer.
Is
And
that what the kids are calling it these days, Ellie?
yeah, that's what the kids are calling it these days.
You know.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
My trainer was a very good Christian boy. So
That's how
there
you
was nothing untoward happened.
you gotta convert them to the other side.
That's I don't want to do that because
Yeah.
some people need religion, and that's
Bring
fine.
them to the dark side.
Hashtag crackback. What's up, good stuff, common skater?
What up, good stuff?
Hey.
Everyone go smoke some crack.
I already did.
Oh, awesome, man.
Who's this?
It's always good.
It's a Joe Ball. What's up,
Hey,
Joe?
what up, Joe Bowl?
Hey,
What
Joe.
up, gang? How y'all doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just sitting here working.
Hello, Mr. Ball.
Strong stuff.
Hello there. Nice to meet you. What is your name?
Allie.
Allie. Nice to meet you, Allie.
Hi.
Hello.
What's up, Yodom? Yodom's in the chat.
Hey, hell, Yodom. Yodom's
Fizzy's here.
got the chosen.
I like that Joe is the only one who is brave enough to be on camera in this panel.
Well, Makini's on camera.
Yeah,
Technically.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But I've never seen Makini's face. I've only seen his handiwork.
Mm.
I mean, no offense to Makini. I'm sure
like
he's a
that.
very handsome fellow, but I like his handiwork.
I like that pun, by the way. That was good.
Yeah,
Handiwork.
and you see what I did there.
Yeah, it was clever. I liked it. Yep,
So funny.
I thought so. So stupid. Great.
No, nobody wants to see me right now. I just got out of the shower from dyeing my hair.
Ew.
What color?
The usual color.
Did you have to ask?
Yeah, because you don't know.
Black. Black as night.
I don't know.
Black
When I
as
was
darkness.
a younger lad, I used to dye my hair different colors.
What's up,
Black.
Skip? You gonna give us some Bancroft commentary tonight?
Well, he's on Shane's channel, so you know.
No, Skip's in the chat.
No, but Bancroft is on Shane's channel, so he's a coward.
I know, but the last couple of nights it's been like a heated Bancroft conversation over there with Edwards.
Yeah. So
Why? What happened? What's getting heated?
Ooh, what's getting heated?
So out of the loop.
And Jim
No.
Cox. I think I got it right now. What's up, Jim Cox?
Clayton, it's all in your chat thingy.
Oh, so that's the thing, right?
I think so. Yeah.
It's always heated with them,
What are the topics?
yeah. What do we have tonight, Lola?
I'm excited. I'm so excited to see Joe's like commentary on this.
You're up to no good. I can tell already.
I'm always up to no good, Joe. You know me.
Anyone named Lola is a trap. It's true.
Whoa,
No.
whoa.
I think Lola's
Allie, I
far
was
more
not
innocent.
born with a penis.
Hello, Lola.
Just saying.
Did I hear penis? What?
I was not born with a penis.
I wasn't saying you were. I was.
No, I was replying.
Lola, you've lost your mind. Next thing you're going to say men can't have periods.
Oh,
Jesus
God.
Christ.
I
It's
know.
2021, Lola.
Bigot.
Get with the
I
program.
disavow.
Get with the program.
Joe, I'm still in 1950, so.
Yeah,
You're a
I'm right.
13-year-old boy.
Absolutely. What is this?
So have y'all heard about this?
Oh,
Oh,
no. Is this the Batman? Yeah.
yes, it is.
We got to talk about this. Come on, we're in
Why?
we're
Yeah, I mean, we can
comics
talk about
creators, and
Because this is very important for crime fighting, as to how well you perform fellatio.
We gave her
Uh-huh.
the bat tongue.
Mm.
This headline makes no sense.
Look,
Harley
the show looked stupid in the first place, so who cares? Who watched this? 0 people watched this, like, shitty show.
I would watch Harley Quinn blowing Batman. What are you guys talking about?
I know,
Sounds
right?
great.
That's
Other way
not what
around.
happens.
Yeah, Batman won't. They don't want Batman to, flick the bean, you could say.
Yeah, for Catwoman.
Oh,
no cunnilingus.
why?
Fellatio.
Because they said heroes don't do that.
It's very old-fashioned of them.
But-
Ask any woman, a real hero does do that.
But it's okay
Exactly.
to show Batman's penis? Like,
That-
come on.
That's what I said, that heroes will, like, if you do that for a woman, she'll immediately call you a hero. The thing is, I don't understand why everything these days has to be basically a fanfic. Because this wasn't for kids, but it's like really bad animation, like all the kids' shows today. And yet it's just like somebody wrote themselves in and they were like, oh, I'm going to write myself in as Harley and Batman's going to eat me out. Like, why? What is the purpose?
It's not Harley, it's Catwoman.
It's
Catwoman, whatever.
Well,
I write myself in as Catwoman.
they had an episode on, because I guess this was on some paid service, but they had a free episode on TBS or something. I can't remember, and they bleeping out all these swear words and stuff. I'm like, this is like
But, okay,
cartoon
we've seen it be
for
done
kids.
before, though. It's been done before with
Yeah, It just,
Green Arrow and Black Canary here. He got pushback for it, but he still got to show it.
was it in a comic or in a cartoon?
Well,
So what happened? They didn't want to show it, or they did?
Yeah, DC said that they're not allowed to have Batman give Catwoman cunnilingus.
Oh,
Yeah, and like everybody's like, well, they're either for it or against it. I've seen a lot of pushback for it against it.
well,
Like, what's the point in it? What's the point in having this in anything?
That's the main thing I agree with. It's not I'm not for it or against it. I'm like, what's the point of it?
yeah.
Like, what does it
That's
add
where I
to
am.
the story?
Because it's a fanfic. Whoever wrote this was like, I'm going to do this because it's a self-insert. It's just like me writing a fanfic of Buffy the Vampire Slayer where Spike marries me. It's the
Does
same
he?
thing.
Do you say yes?
Did he?
Do you say I do?
I'll dig it out sometime.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for them to like put Batman and Joker together in a sex scene.
Oh no.
I guarantee you can find that. You can Rule 34 that.
I'm not. I'm good. I don't need to see that. I was making a joke.
Well, that's where this stuff belongs, right? Like in the like on Tumblr or something.
Yeah.
Like it's not. I mean, DC doesn't typically do hentai versions of their IPs, right?
Yeah, but this was on a cartoon that they wanted to do.
Oh, this was like
Yeah, this is a
you
cartoon.
could see the action.
Yeah.
Evening, Wookie.
And Harley like runs around cussing and stuff.
Yeah, Harley runs around cussing. It's like
It's just unnecessary bullshit. Joe, what do you think?
Edgy.
I think the running around cussing and this, because I've seen the running around cussing clips, it all just comes off extremely try hard and lame. It's like DC is the world of like fatherly superheroes in a way, and I don't like anything about trying to insert the stuff into the DC universe, and it's mainly just because A, there's no point, and B, nobody asked for it to begin with. Like outside of a very tiny minority of human beings that are just complete degenerates to begin with. So
Well, it's not like I can sit down and watch this with my kid like I can Batman the Animated Series.
Well, and you don't want your kids to even stumble across it.
Exactly.
It's just in really bad taste. I'll put it that way. It's not tactful. It's in bad taste. And I'm glad DC put the squash on it. Now, that being said, Lola's right. They'll probably do something where Batman has gay butt sex with somebody now. But,
Yep.
Well, part of me goes...
Killer Croc, man. Killer Croc and Batman.
Oh, yeah.
I could take that ship.
Yeah, see, like, maybe I wouldn't show my kids, but if it's late one Friday night and I don't have anything else on, and there's like a adult-rated version of Batman and Harley Quinn that I can watch, maybe I'll check it out.
Well,
you know, because I'm a big nerd.
The problem is it's animated so poorly, and the dialogue is so pathetic. I don't know who thinks people talk like that, but it's so bad. It's like Powerpuff Girls, the live action series bad.
It's pretty bad.
Really?
Dean says, why are y'all shipping Killer Croc and Batman?
We're not, because we're not evil people.
Lola
I just,
is
like, I don't need to
looking-
know about a superhero's sexual preferences or anything else. I don't need to know what they're doing in the bedroom.
yeah.
That's kind of like, what was it, Batgirl or Batwoman, where they had like 10
Batwoman.
pages? Was it Batwoman?
We don't need to know what they do in the bedroom, but having a hero or even a villain who has romantic interests, it has always been, a good plot point. That the superhero, should he or can he afford to have a romantic interest? That's a big one in tons of superhero.
But having a romantic interest and having that tension there is completely different,
right?
Than actually showing the act of them like fucking.
Exactly.
I don't know. See, I love like there's so many movies out there that show that kind of thing, like sex scenes and and a little bit of raunchiness, and it can spice things up. So for a long time, I've wondered, hey, why don't they add that into comics? Like, sure, you're not going to add it into the kiddie comics, but I'm talking about like the comic books that are more aimed at us 20, 30, 40-year-olds.
They had Vertigo.
I think
Because you have porn. You're a grown up. You can access porn.
They used to.
This is true.
That's what heavy metal was.
Heavy
yeah,
metal.
and then we had the basically the Marvel's 1610, the Ultimate Universe, where a lot of it was just characters having sex.
Oh,
For the modern age, like it was just like for modern, it was like a modern interpretation. Like,
Well, I mean, you've always had sexiness, right? You've always had sexiness in comics. I mean, look at Conan. He was always like
Exactly.
Well, I think-
banging bitches, but they didn't have to show it.
well, but and also I think you're kind of hitting the point on hitting the nail on the head, guys. Is that really it's how it's handled? Like
Yeah.
something like Harley Quinn is like what Balls is saying is like it's done the way it's handled. It's very immature. Like you can do like adult stuff if you can handle the material well, if you can handle it well, and it doesn't come off as like immature or edginess for the sake of edginess. You know what I mean?
It probably comes off as very immature.
I just want to know, like, who thought, putting a scene of Batman going down on Selena would be a great idea. Like everybody was just going to embrace this with like.
Well, we talked about. Well, I mentioned this before the start of the stream, that how this reminds me too much of the problem with the Killing Joke was that why do we need a sex scene between Bruce and Barbara? Why do we need any kind of relationship tension for that in the first place? It feels incredibly unnecessary.
And it was weird. Like it just feels weird. It comes out of nowhere, and you're like, oh, that's what this is, and then it's never a thing again.
Once you actually show them in the physical act of sex, right? That breaks that tension and it declimaxes everything.
It
Ironically,
does.
it declimaxes.
It declimaxes just because, and like in that case, because the thing is, Bruce and Barbara, Bruce is more of a surrogate father to her, more of like a mentor figure.
That's why it was super weird too.
it's kind of kinky.
I was like, what are you doing, Batman? Why?
Yeah, it's the trope of a contrarian liberal. That's who wrote this. It's someone that still thinks it's funny to irritate their parents, and they're in their mid-30s.
Well, and it's Allie was bringing up that it's just like a lot of this is we're seeing in cartoons is just like I would say one shining example would be like the She-Ra thing, where it's just like it's not really forcing sex, it's that you're forcing LGBTQ relationships on kids cartoons, and that's a very common thing. You know what I mean?
You don't want me going down that rabbit hole.
Well, yeah, it's a rabbit hole, but yeah, it's you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see Harley Quinn and Killer Croc now. I'm just going to Google that later.
You know what, King? Why don't
well, they ship her with Poison Ivy, so
draw your own ships, okay?
I think a lot of it is to just appease shippers, and just because a lot of the creators are probably are shippers themselves.
What
they probably do a lot of fanfic stuff. We probably have history doing fanfic,
and they hire people who have no experience, but are just like edgy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the same thing you Boys Act talks about all the time.
Why do they call them shippers?
Yeah, why? What are shippers?
It's short for relationship.
Oh, okay, all right.
Putting characters together in relationship.
Stupid.
When you
a lot
ship
of
people together,
a lot of shows, and even a lot of cartoons, a lot of their fandoms can be built on shippers, and shippers be very toxic at times.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole shipper comic of the bunny and the fox in Zootopia, like getting it on and getting pregnant, and like she gets an abortion. It's freaking ridiculous.
Geez, man.
Should I be concerned that you know about this?
I know about it. Yeah.
I
That was my whole thing. Like that was my whole thing with like as much as I did like the Legend of Korra, that ending was really just to appease the Korrasami shippers, really. Of course, he had one entire season where it was focused on nothing but shipping. Kind of brought it down, but yeah.
So shippers are just comic books about relationships.
No, not
No,
even
it's
comic books. It's just
No, it's just where you take two characters and you put them in a relationship.
Yeah, it's a fandom. It's kind of like a fandom, basically. It's a group.
Gotcha.
But it's 90% degenerate. It's not like they put them in.
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's
Like
like
me putting
this.
Batman with Joker. That's me shipping them together.
Ew.
Picture this. There's a lot of like, I guess the most common one would be Raylos.
Yeah.
The most obvious one are Raylos. They doing all these things with Ray and Kylo Ren up to the point where they went out and harassed
they got
the real wives.
Happen.
Adam Driver's real wife, and try to force them to break up so they could be so him and Daisy Ridley could be together in real life. It's just like it's just, and that's just kind of the real toxic side of those shippers,
I mean, there's fairly like harmless ones. Like
They're a harmless one, absolutely.
Pony bronies who will be like, "Oh, I want Twilight Sparkle to date Big Mac," stuff like that.
Me too.
But then there's like crazy people like
usually kind of and it's usually the more crazy ones who kind of ruin it for everybody else,
The Star Wars fandom has probably like the worst shippers. Not gonna lie.
Don't ever Google like Yoda ship.
Yoda ship.
But the thing is that with Ali, what Ali was saying is just like if there's probably we have a good like some of the more Western animation. It feels like a lot of it was made just for shippers, really, just for the the Tumblrites, the Twitter crowd, and not really for kids. You know what I mean?
Jim Cox says that he ships Clayton and the Kraken.
Ooh, there you go.
So
I think Ellie already did that.
So we call it McClayton or Clayton McCracken.
I saw that. The squid octopus thing with the.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to target anybody or anything. It's just kind of a generalization. Well, it's more of just kind of what I'm seeing in general.
I don't know. I'm feeling pretty targeted, Makani.
But what I'm not understanding isn't a dude going down on a chick a good thing for everybody? Like, no matter if, like, even if you're a raging feminist, isn't that something that you want? Isn't that something that you feel is an obligation, even? Why is it a bad thing in this case? I've never heard this being a bad thing.
They didn't want their hero getting his mouth all gooey. That's up to DC.
Well, and I think that's the thing. It's just like it is kind of contradictory because you have a show like Harley Quinn, which is raunchy as all get out, but they won't let this happen. But I think I think that just a lot of it's just because that's how important Batman is as a character and a property, to not have the essential character of Batman doing stuff like that.
I just want to
that ruins the image.
I'm from the generation that grew up with like Bebe's kids, so
yeah same here.
We
in
grew up
cool
with
world.
Bebe's kids.
What's that?
Oh,
Think of like a ghetto Rugrats, basically.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just watch Rugrats?
It was a movie.
We'll talk about it after the show.
It was an animated film.
Me and you will talk about it after the show.
What's up, Will?
What's up, Will?
Hey,
You have any commentary on this, Will?
I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about.
Batman going down on Selena.
Gross. Why does everything have to be sexual?
There you go. That's what we were saying.
See? Why can't we watch something that's not obsessed with genitalia today? Everything is about genitals. It's so obnoxious.
Like, I was reading an article about Harley Quinn, about just kind of tracing her character from Batman the Animated Series, and how she was best friends with Poison Ivy, and in the comics they made them lesbians.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, they need to.
Yeah.
This, I think Allie pointed this out a long time ago on Twitter. She was asking about, mistakes that female authors make, and I pointed out to her that the biggest mistake a lot of female authors make is the inability to understand, I wouldn't call it platonic, but let's call it same-sex friendships, right? Like, if two men love each other, they must be fucking. If two women love each other, they must be fucking.
Well, Will, that's something I was bringing up. I think I brought up last night that like it's such an ongoing thing in fiction and in media is that you can't have like before it was like you can't have a boy and a girl just be friends without getting into a relationship. But what I'm seeing now is just like you can't have like two guys just be friends because they want to ship them together.
Well, see,
like romances aren't real in fiction.
Right. The problem is all those women who used to just write romance novels all decided to move out and try writing things that were mostly written by men, and they can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's because they haven't had their walk tamed.
They need to just go back and write their romance novels and leave everything else alone. Like, at this point, it's like genital fatigue. Like, who wants to even do anything now? Because you turn on the TV and it's there. You open a crappy comic and it's there. Like, you just can't do anything. Maybe I don't want to have to deal with that outside my bedroom. Like,
or maybe they believe the egalitarian element is an orgasm because everybody likes orgasms. And it's very difficult to accept the fact that men and women are different. And men can understand men, women can understand women because women are women and men are men, and we can understand each other across sexual lines. But in the end, we have to accept the fact that the two sexes are different and they value things that are different.
Yes.
And it's not a bad thing that they value things differently, right? So, for example, men value honor and respect, and women value security. That's not a bad thing that women value security. That preserves civilization, right? But any deficiency, any difference is seen as a deficiency on women's part, right? That's not a deficiency. You know what I mean? That's a good thing that women value security,
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But basically what they've done, though, is they've taken away all the mystery. There is no mystery left in sex anymore.
Yeah, it's just gross. It's also just become gross. In the end, guys, let's also face this. Take the pleasure out of it. Sex is a pretty ridiculous activity, right? Mm-hmm. So watching two people have sex is pretty ridiculous. And
also...
You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm just saying that sex itself without the orgasm is pretty funny.
Well, and also,
you know what I mean?
if you ruin the allure by having it happen too often.
Yeah.
Like, say if it was like a once in thing, that would you actually ruin the allure of it. I think about Titans with like Starfire and Nightwing, them like sleeping together. It was just like kind of like a one. I would say it was kind of like a one thing, but there was built up to it, and it wasn't all the time. It was insinuated, but I guess there's a lost art of subtlety. There's a lost art of being tasteful about it.
Right.
You don't have like if you want to have two characters have sex, it's like okay, that's fine, but just don't don't overdo it. Don't do it all the time. Maybe make it say it's like have it build. Like if you want to put a sex scene, like maybe have a lot of build up for it and make it feel special for the characters, and then not overdo it and just kind of let that moment just be that moment.
Make it clever,
Make it clever, exactly.
All the Bond movies were very clever with it.
Well, I think what he makes a good point. They value security, but they're not turned on by it.
I disagree with that. I think that they just aren't getting the right security. They're okay. Women today think that they know what kind of security they want. They think they want the nice guy, but they don't.
No.
They don't want the soy boy.
Nope.
The problem is when they go to find the not soy boy, they go to the total opposite end, and they're like, oh, if I'm not going to get the soy boy, I'll just go to the worst possible option at the other end of the spectrum.
Well, I mean, the soy boy doesn't offer security, though.
Soy boy's another woman.
Exactly, that's my point. They think, oh, he's a nice guy, so I'll be safe. But they're not safe with a little bitch.
I gotta disagree with you on one point there. I think nice guys can be nice guys without being soy.
Well, Lola, what we're talking about here is a amputation from a balanced personality. So, masculinity used to be a galaxy of things. It didn't used to be just one thing. So, when you're courting a woman and she's looking at you and going, okay, do I want this man's genes and do I want him to protect me? The alpha attitude is very attractive. But then when a woman's pregnant, then the nice guy attitude is much more attractive, right? Because that's not what she's looking for anymore, right? She already got that part. So we're talking about balance here, you know what I mean? And appropriate behavior for appropriate situations, instead of the guy going, well, I'm just going to be the nice guy all around until she's drunk and then I'll, get what I need.
No soy boy is like soy constantly. You always see that these guys have such issues that they can't control themselves, and they're the ones who it comes out where it's like, oh, soy boy X did an untoward thing to a woman, and now he's in trouble.
And it can go into and that usually leads into the whole male feminist white knight thing, where it's like they you claim to be standing up for women and you tout it so much that it leads people to assume that you got some skeletons in your closet, that you've done some things, you've done some harm to women in the past, and you're just trying to cover up for it.
You're virtue signaling.
Yeah, you're virtue signaling. That's why I always think. That's why I've always noticed. Like, that's why I don't ever trust anybody who who claims that they're like a male feminist, because it often leads to, okay, if they're running their big mouth on a lot of stuff, then it's clear that they got some demons in their closet. They don't want it to come to surface. I'm not saying all. I'm just saying it's very common. I
would also add, McEnany, that I believe feminism only really benefits men in general. A certain kind of man who hates another kind of man. I think feminism is just a dialectic between two types of men and two types of civilization that different types of men value. Right. So you have gamma males, soy boys, who convince women to abandon their families, their towns, their clan, move to cities, be isolated into debt units, work for a man in an office, waste the most fertile years of her life not feeding her family, but feeding another man's family that is her boss, only to be preyed upon by her boss. And you wonder why women, and I don't buy into abortion, but you wonder why women get abortions. Of course they do, because they're scared. Would you want to have that guy's baby? You know what I mean? No. That preys on you? No. Like I said, I'm a pro-life guy, but I understand it. You put women in that position, and you scare the shit out of them without any security, of course they're going to do crazy things. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So feminism is really one group of predatory men using that as a way to essentially put women where they want them. Not only as cheap labor, but as basically, let's call them just pleasure models.
Mm-hmm.
What? So you don't think that women had any part in feminism?
No, not really. Because let's face it, Allie. Like, let's get real here. We're eliminating the differences between men and women and going with the presupposition a priori that there's no differences between men and women. What you're dealing with now is a power dynamic. Right. That's what's going to adjudicate everything. And
Six says Alex Jones was right.
Well, if you're dealing with a power dynamic, then men will win hands down because they can kill the other half of the population.
Well, and they run the world's economy, which is really the important.
Well, not just that, they can kill you with their bare hands, Allie.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm just gonna call titties here. Titties.
Yeah.
Look, that's not the point I'm making, though. Like, it's. I'm not trying to be caustic. I'm just saying that one side has an obvious power differential that tilted in their favor physically.
How do you think it should be solved? How do you think it could be?
Sex robots with bionic penises?
In terms of what? What are you asking? In terms of what?
Go bionic penis.
How would we, like the what you're saying about the two like warring factions basically of men?
Mm-hmm.
How do we fix that?
Bionic penises.
Well, here's the thing: is that it all kind of comes down to sexual liberation, and not seeing sexual liberation as liberation, because it's not. It's enslavement of women and enslavement of men. You know what I mean? All we're doing is unlocking passion for one group of men to hold revolution against the other, and women get caught in the middle of that.
Passion for drawing is here?
You know? Because, like I said, women are weaker physically than men. I'm not saying weak in constitution. I'm not saying weak in mind. I'm saying we're talking about, like, the very basic thing.
But how is there a bionic penis game?
And when you're not dealing with something transcendental, like maternal truth, you're dealing with the will at that point as the thing that mediates disputes between two groups.
So,
and in that situation, women lose.
Is it possible to change what we've gotten ourselves into then?
Right now, I think the beast system is dead. It's dying. We're seeing it. It's going the way of the dodo. But what you're seeing is a concurrent rise in, I hate to use this term because really dorky people use it, but traditionalism, where people are moving away from cities, finding smaller communities, getting more agrarian, doing more local things like local elections and having very strong, fruitful families.
Sure.
That is the alternative. But you're not going to save this system. No, this system's dead. It's in its death throes right now.
Wow.
Ooh.
That's pretty badass, Jason.
That's beautiful. I like your Deus Ex Machina thing you got there.
Yo, I'll be right back.
All right, man.
Looks good, Jason.
No, come back.
Doodle. Yeah.
Is that
will you? No, Will asked if I had ever done like bionic type tech. I do it from time to time, just not.
Yeah, he can do tech. I like his tech.
Thanks, man. Yeah,
it looks like a pleasure model.
And speaking of pleasure models, Lola.
Right?
And again, Allie, I'm not saying the world's going to end. I'm just saying it's going to change.
Let's talk about this sex robot with his bionic penis and his.
I got to see this
that
penis.
Can be program gay.
Really quick, I just want to say, if you ever want to come on my channel and talk about that, I would love to.
Sure, anytime you want, let me know.
All right, cool.
I'm always available if anybody wants to yak at me or talk with me.
Yeah.
Okay. Now onto the bionic penis. Pardon me. Sorry.
Well, that's what it says. So you're fine.
Yeah, we were like, you could just fix it all with a bionic penis.
Yeah. Fix everything with that, really. I mean, you can fix the table.
Sex robot bionic penis that can be programmed gay. Well, I mean, what do you mean programmed gay? I don't understand that.
Well,
likes
just
men.
read it and we'll see.
Yeah, but it has no intelligence, so either it goes in a butt or it goes in a vagina. Like
that's why he's programmed.
So I had to turn off my ad blocker for this, so I'm going to scroll really fast after I read this.
He's like, ew.
I mean, it's just a matter. I mean, somebody has to operate it, right?
Yeah, you just you put in whatever you want. Is he going to be a bitch or is he going to be a nice guy? And yeah, I've read about this Real Dolls site. It's fantastic. These dolls are so advanced that it's getting to the point where when you're having too much of a headache in a real relationship, these wonderful, wonderful replacements who can be programmed however you want them to be programmed will make the perfect companion. And, you can bang them as much as you want. You can sit with them as much as you want. You can talk to them as much as you want. Get this, you can program them to be talkative or quiet. Shh.
You can program them to have a Scottish accent.
You can program real women too.
Jeffrey Dahmer's dream has come true. Have you noticed this?
Yes, this is true. Yeah,
remember what Jeffrey Dahmer was trying to do?
He's trying to make them into sex slaves.
Oh, sex zombies.
Zombies, yes. Sorry,
I'm just worried about if his wig comes off.
Oh yeah, he poured shit in their skulls and stuff.
Yeah, he would do all kinds of experiments. Like he drilled a hole in the Filipino kid's head and was injecting acid to try to melt maybe the frontal lobe or something.
They're bringing Dahmer's dream to life.
Yep.
That's very
Yeah.
nice of them.
They are.
Dahmer was pathologically lonely and just wanted a body next to him that was breathing.
He just wanted a sex slave, and this could be the perfect sex slave.
Mhm.
And get this right, they even are able to now warm the bodies up, so they don't just feel like a dead corpse anymore.
That is so freaking creepy, Clayton.
It's so awesome. What are you talking about?
It's got nice
It was
teeth.
creepier before when they were just cold.
Ugh.
It's nice. It's got nice teeth. Look at that.
Yeah, look at him.
Again, we're right back to this. What we were talking about 5 minutes ago about the will, right? Like this is what matters. It doesn't. Another person doesn't matter. The will matters. Not me, the will, but the will.
Well, you
know?
matter too, Will.
The will to what?
The will to power here. It's like because love is a willing thing between two people.
Not anymore.
Exactly. So since we don't.
But hold on. Are we talking about love, or are we talking about just sex?
Well,
There's
I'm just
a
kind of
difference. You
What
can have
else
sex and not have love.
You can't have love with a robot.
exactly.
That's
But you can have sex.
Pansexuals would disagree with you.
Pansexuals can. Never mind. You know what?
No,
I don't
some
want to get
people
your channel
really-
struck.
Some people really love these things. Have you seen? There's a great movie.
Those
Lars and the
Lars
Real Girl?
It's called
No,
Lars
those-
and the Real Girl. Yeah. And he
You've
falls in
seen
love.
it. Clayton,
Can someone
you've seen it.
define
Those
pansexual for
people
me?
have a problem, and they need to seek therapy.
What is a
Well-
pansexual?
Someone
It's a
who likes
person that
to
can
do
fall in love
everything.
with anything.
Okay,
Someone
anything
who
and
gets
everything.
aroused by bacon and eggs.
Okay.
Mmm.
No, pan romantic would be you can fall in love with anything. But pansexual is you want to fuck everything. And at that point, you have a problem and you should seek therapy because that's not.
good. Yeah,
that's
good
not
example.
right.
This is different though, because it looks and feels like a human,
But it's not.
No.
and you can put your
I don't
penis inside of
I
it.
just like this comment here. After sex, it talks about show tunes.
Oh man.
Hey
no,
Google, play.
Divorce.
Oh,
What
I wonder
rats
if it, like,
Does
I
it
wonder
have
if it does
Google?
like Alexa, like you can get it to like program your TV while you're getting fucked by.
You know,
Yeah,
I
looks like it doesn't
I
fight
saw
you over
this
the
in a-
remote.
I saw this in a movie. I believe it was Stepford Wives. Didn't
Yep.
turn out so well.
That was
Blade Runner,
different.
man.
That was
Basic
a boy's
budget model.
look on it.
So Clayton, did you watch Lars and the Real Girl then?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, ages ago. It was a beautiful relationship until it all fell apart.
Until she died.
Yeah. That's a movie, but there's actually dudes out there exactly like that,
Ugh,
and
barf.
you know, it's a weird thing, you know.
But what
It's a
is
very
this you guys are
strange
talking
thing.
about?
Wait! Look what Frog G said.
A movie.
That's such a good point.
Yes, we all have, I
To be
believe.
fair, I've dated women with less personality. You just
And
gotta
hey,
reprogram
one day-
them, man.
One day these things are gonna this is just the beginning. Just imagine like another decade from now when these things are like ultra advanced. If you can make the choice, but because a relationship is difficult and people don't like. I mean, good relationships are easy, but they still have their ups and downs. There's mood swings. There's this and that. Like you actually have to
Try.
compromise to an extent, but not with these things, right? So if people are naturally inclined to choose the path of least resistance.
That is
So if you
such
can
a
have a relationship with one
that
of
is
these,
such a narcissistic, immature way to go, and it's
it's like
pathetic.
you summed me up in a single sentence. Alex.
Well, then Clayton, now you're removing every reason to be human.
Clayton's awesome.
Well, for a partner, yeah.
I mean, because again, love is free will, and it's a possibility of rejection because your children can reject you. You take a chance with love, right? Because even God takes a chance with love, right? You can choose to ignore him. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
say he doesn't exist. So there's a lot of risk in love.
There is. Yeah, I think that you could, but keep in mind as well that love, and I'm not talking about the kind of love that Disney has programmed us with. I'm talking with all the fairy tale movies. I'm talking about actual love. It's actually quite an irrational state of psychosis. It really
talking
is.
about, like,
It will cause you to do things that are actually not within your best interest.
Yeah, like
A
for
lot
an
of the
adult.
time, you will do crazy shit for love that is logically just way out there. And so I do believe, because love is irrational anyway, that you could certainly rationalize love for one of these ultra realistic love
Well,
dolls.
there's
I don't
another
think love is
problem.
irrational. Not at
There's
all.
another problem with these dolls, though, because where does it stop? They can make
Well,
a gay doll.
I
They
hope
can
it,
make,
I mean,
they
it,
can
it
make a
keeps
straight
going.
doll, but they can. What they're going to make children dolls for
They
pedophiles?
already do. They already do, Allie. They already do.
What?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but they already do.
Yeah, well, I mean, exactly. They already exist.
That's fucking
But
disgusting.
for regular, normal people,
I would agree
who are
with you
wired
100%
accurately.
on that, but I mean, people have been doing whatever they wanted to sexually for eons, right? Since the beginning of time.
Besides,
Yeah,
you know
but
what? I would
most-
rather give them a doll than for them to prey on real human beings, to be
It's
honest.
a gateway. It's a gateway.
Yeah,
They
all
wouldn't-
this is
it wouldn't last.
it's just more realistic pornography. That's all it is.
It wouldn't last. They'd be the
Wookie here knows what's up. Love is a chemical reaction in your brain.
That's
Sure.
very depressing.
No, it's not.
I mean, it
depressing,
is, though.
But
It is.
What does
But
that
it's
mean?
true, because when you're in love, you get rushes of dopamine, right?
Yeah. So
So some people fall in love. You've seen a toxic. You probably know people who have been in toxic relationships. They think they're in love, and their partner treats them like absolute trash. That can't be love. That's not love.
irrational.
That's irrational, which is what, again. That's what love is, right? It makes
I
you
don't
do
know.
crazy
No,
stuff.
I don't think so at all.
Well, that's why we need
I
to
can rationalize love for you. I can break it down into 4 categories.
That's why we need to teach our children better.
There are multiple.
There's a guy that
categories
married
of
his
love.
Nintendo D's waifu. What?
But it depends how you're orientating yourself into what worldview.
Nintendo DS.
Well, yes,
Oh,
there's lots of that's what I'm talking about, like just the psychological state that is activated by love. And there is different types of love, different stages even. There's love at first sight, which is really just lust. And then there's that honeymoon stage within a relationship, which is like, it's probably the most powerful point at which you feel you're in love. But then, you're tested by the long-term relationship.
The charity
which
part.
is, okay, you're really fucking pissing me off right now, but I love you, baby. I love you. And that's,
Aw,
if you can get through
sweetie.
that, then maybe you're hitting on something there. Maybe there's some potential for that relationship. Then you have a kid, and that's a whole different kind of love, which I've just learned about, and it's a beautiful thing. It's probably one of the most purest
cute when
forms
you
of
talk
love.
about your kid. I love it.
I
It's
know
adorable.
it's.
Well, people fall in love through screens now,
Yeah.
Like-
I fall in love with my comic book characters sometimes. It's really weird.
Oh my god.
People fall in love through everything. It's all fucking weird. God, humans are so fucking weird.
Now it kind of sounds like you're sort of taking love and just making it meaningless. If you can fall in love with anything, it doesn't mean anything.
I don't think you
that's
can
what they're
fall in
doing,
love
is
with a
it not?
teapot.
Okay,
They're
okay,
taking
okay,
love and
wait.
making it meaningless.
Let's make some differentiations here. What Clayton is saying and what Ali is saying, I believe, is that there's a limitation of the English language. We don't really have categories of love and different words for different kinds of loves, right? In English, like they say in Greek, right? So in Greek, you have 4 words? You have storge, philia, eros, and agape, right? So it's easier to use those 4. So what you're saying with the teapot is something called, I believe, storge, right? Which is familiarity, which is a kind of a chemical reaction like you were talking about, which is you grow up to something, you have a nice pair of shoes, they're comfortable because they're familiar. I love my shoes. I love my brother, even though he's a prick, because they're familiar, right? I think that's what we're talking about, is that kind of love, which is the
There's that kind
familiarity.
of love, yeah.
Right, but that's needed for all the other loves, right? So these things are kind of interchangeable. So if you're going to love somebody in a charitable way, you need to be familiar with them in some way, right? You have to have a comfort. So
I think humans have this weird thing though, right? Where they can like make shit up. So they could look at one of these real dolls, and they could make believe, they could pretend, oh, they have a personality, they're this and they're that. Like humans,
And that means that they're
very
a crazy
strange
person.
in that way.
They're a crazy
Sorry.
person, and they need to go and seek help.
Not necessarily. I think we do it. I think
Allie
we do it a lot. What's
people that do this generally keep it to themselves, like other rational people. So yeah, I think Allie's got a valid point.
Yes, I
It
mean,
used to be that this kind of shit was kept, inside. Nobody came out and talked about the weird shit they did. And if they did, they were taken to an asylum or given therapy because it's not healthy to talk to something that's not real. Like it is real.
And bare minimum, have shame about it if you know what's happening.
Shame.
it's real enough.
A healthy amount of
In my
shame
opinion.
is like something that's totally lacking in our society today. Shame is a positive thing at times
mhm.
for society in general.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it makes
Shame
it
is
helpful
good.
for
Shame
women
is like
don't
the
think-
cherry on top.
It's
Hey, I've
helpful
got
when
all
women
these
don't go
awesome
ass.
people over here in my chat that I have not said hi to.
Oh,
You guys
say
wanna
hi
help
to
me?
them. Jeez.
Right?
Chat.
Like there's Corey Barton,
Ooh, hey, Corey.
Ah. The strangest of them all.
the strangest. Wise guys, what's up, man? How you doing?
Wise guy.
Was that Jason's laugh?
Eris Saga. Hey, like if you guys haven't checked out Eris Tape 2,
How many people are watching you right now, Lola?
229.
Really?
12.
Oh, I was about to say, I thought you had like the Insomnia game on lockdown.
Shane Davis is.
I don't know.
Shane's live streaming, so
I don't know if one of those counts though, because one of them's me.
You
I mean,
always count Allie. Come on now.
Yeah, but I'm like on the panel, so
Yeah.
So I can show myself
there's
now. My
Will. So now we got Will and Joe.
wise guys.
There we go.
Wise guys. Hail the wise
Will and
guys.
Joe.
And Jason, when he's not trying to, hide his beautiful face.
I'm well hidden, so.
Can I can't see the names, and I'm gonna need to go. Who was I talking to that I said I wanted to talk
Will.
to more?
Will.
Perdomo.
He's
This
above you.
guy.
But okay, I can't. What's your name on Twitter?
It's Sella Felix. So I think you can. I mean, make it ambiguous, Allie.
Ambiguous.
Allie, Lila.
Lola.
Hold on.
I like that.
You like orientate us
And
like
Megan.
East Hollywood Squares. There you go.
Friend.
I'm glad you did that because I thought you said Stella.
Yeah, like my mother.
Oh boy, Stella. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna need to take off.
All right. Have a great night.
Hasta
Thank you
luego.
for hanging out for a little while, Lola.
Buenos
Yeah,
noches.
thanks for coming on, Allie.
Thank you.
Nice talking to you.
Love you,
Very
Allie.
Nice talking to you, Allie.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Have
meet you
fun
too.
down there,
Later.
Clayton. You freaking weirdo.
Hey, I'm not weird.
Perfectly normal.
I'm
Clayton's
a
just
little bit weird.
Clayton's just
All
an
right.
Aussie.
Good night.
Good night.
Later.
Clayton fits in with us because he is a weirdo.
Clayton.
I am the
That's
sanest
pretty good.
person any of you will ever meet.
I speak the truth that everybody's thinking.
That's a good thing. Keep doing
So
that.
you say what we all like really want to say, but like we're
I'm-
like,
I'm
we
I'm
probably
all
have
of
a
your
little bit of
subconscious.
tact.
Yeah.
Are you the Zarathustra of the group?
I don't know who that is, but yes.
Okay, good.
It's like I don't know who that is, but I'll take it. Yeah.
What's the next one, Lola?
Yeah, I gotta stop sharing this one.
Did your mother ever teach you to not stop sharing?
No. I had siblings. I had to share everything.
Yes, we've talked about this.
That sucks.
And I will do anything for love, but I won't do that.
What are you singing, Jason?
No, I won't.
Jason had a great night tonight. Did you see his drawing? It was
Oh,
the wrong drawing, but it was great.
It was so
I told him nobody noticed, Will. You weren't supposed to mention that.
I'm like, what's he drawing? She's got like a chicken wing in her mouth or something.
Okay, no, I asked in the chat because everybody was talking and I didn't want to interrupt the flow. And I asked in the chat, who are we
Where'd
drawing?
Bertha?
Somebody said Big Bertha. I don't know. I was explaining things. Anyway,
I
no.
think, man,
Eric
who do you think
McIntyre.
won? Who do you think won tonight?
Oh, why you gotta do that, man?
I don't think like Krager's was pretty good, man. I kind of like that one.
Well, I mean, Krager draws Hammer, so that character is pretty close to Hammer.
I don't know if even though Matt usually is pretty fucking strong, I think his wasn't as strong tonight. As I think Frege won tonight, to tell you the truth.
I like Frege's.
Because last night,
I'm biased.
On Monday, fucking Jason killed it with that one. Not Jay. Excuse me. Oh, God damn it. Not Jay. Well, you too. Your Terminator was cool.
Yeah.
What's up, Grimmer?
Hello, Grimmer.
Hello, Grimmer. I'm gonna say it like Will. Hello, Grimmer.
Grimmer. She should come in on the show.
Yeah.
Grimmer.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Why don't you come on the show? We can ping you the
link.
The link.
Oh, Grimmer. Come
We need
on
more
show.
opinions on this stuff.
Yeah, Grimmer, why don't you come on the show? You don't have to show your face.
On why a bride to be shamed
Hi,
for
beautiful.
putting PayPal details on car, asking. I don't even know what it says anymore. I forgot the first time.
Bride to be shamed for putting PayPal details on car, asking strangers to fund wedding.
How dare
What are
she?
your opinions on stuff like this?
I mean, people do it in their YouTube account.
Bride to be shamed for putting.
People do it in their YouTube details. Like, hey, PayPal me.
Yeah, like I'm more apt to give to something that's like for an actual need.
But this is no different than GoFundMe. No different than a lot of things.
The headline is weird. Bride to be shamed for putting PayPal details on car. On her car.
Yeah.
Okay, so she wrote it on her car.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like an advertisement.
She was begging for like help to fund her wedding. Like
people are saps for doing it. They're stupid. Don't do it.
if you need people to like crowdfund your wedding, there's a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
but
maybe don't worry about getting married. Worry about making the money to pay for it.
Well, she doesn't want to pay for it. But also there are people that are dumb enough to just donate to it because I'm going to be a good person. So, yeah, it's just stupid. They're dumb.
You'll only lose more money getting married anyway.
Exactly.
But I
Don't
mean,
get married.
okay. People spend way too much on weddings to begin with.
Here, here.
So,
Yeah, it's crazy.
like, why not just not have that huge ass wedding that you're thinking you deserve or need or whatever, and put that money, the money that you will probably need for a car and a house at some point.
Well,
You know what I mean?
because
Go
a lot
spend
of these
$50.
a lot of these people, like a lot of the women actually, because that's mainly who really want these, their dream, like the wedding is more important than the entire marriage.
I think
So
Yeah.
we had a conversation about this one night, didn't we?
maybe.
But like my thing is like the whole like GoFundMe type stuff where people use stuff like that for stuff like this.
GoFundMe has its purpose. Like, hey, we're dead broke. Our son lost his eye and he's 2 and we want, okay, my heart's breaking. Here's $20. That I get. But, stuff like, hey, buy me this because I want you to, or pay for this. That's stupid.
Do you guys remember that really nasty fucking scam that happened maybe a year or two ago, where there was like a video, like a viral video put up of like this little dwarf kid and he's crying and the kids are making fun of him? Do you remember that? And it turned out he was like a midget actor and they were just scamming.
I don't.
Oh, no.
And like the whole internet like broke their hearts because he looked genuinely in pain and he's like, I'm a little dwarf kid and they're making fun of me and he's crying, but like it broke your heart, right? Because like us human beings, kind of naturally don't want to see children in pain, right?
No.
And it turns out he was like a little actor and there was like scamming people all over the United States. I'm like, you cocksuckers.
That's right. Even Hugh Jackman was like, this poor little kid.
You remember that? You know what I'm talking about, Clayton?
Yeah, I do. And Hugh Jackman was like, it's okay, don't worry about it. Bullies are assholes.
Okay, so this was what she wrote on her car for this. Now, in one window, she's got the PayPal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But on the other window, she's talking about her bachelorette weekend. Like, what the hell? If you
I
got
guess
money
she's,
for a bachelorette weekend, you've got money for your wedding. I'm
but they don't want to
sorry.
pay for it. They just don't want to pay for it. They have the money, but why
Yeah,
use
don't you
your
know they
own?
need their penis cakes for their bachelorette weekend? Who's
This
going
is
to pay for
true.
that?
Who's gonna pay for that? Who's gonna pay for the what is it? The gadget penis?
But, like, this
You know,
stuff
who's gonna pay for
irritates
that?
me because it takes away from people that really have a need.
Yeah.
Right, and it should irritate you, but these people are selfish and narcissistic, so they want to use they don't want to use their own money. They want everybody else to pay for them because they deserve it.
I mean, like I said, I can get behind a GoFundMe if it's for, say your house burns down, right? Like we did that in Comicscape for Carla and John when their house burned down.
That was also like an auction too, though.
And they
Yeah.
did it for Charlie Snogans and his wife, you know?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Like things happen in life that you need help with, right? But with shit like this just takes away from it, and it takes away from what's the word I'm looking for?
It just,
Altruism.
I think it just makes people more skeptical of blind charity, you know, because they don't want to contribute to something that is going to hurt somebody else, or
wait a minute.
you know.
I'm blind. Give me charity.
No, you're not blind. You just can't
You
see.
just
color.
said blind. You said blind charity. I'm blind. Give me charity.
But you know what I mean, like, because it's it's one thing to give blindly, but it's one thing not to want to give to somebody that's going to hurt someone else, right? Like you don't know what these people are using your money for, you know.
Yeah.
Damn, Grimmer came in with the deep shot. What would be great if someone would hack her PayPal and rob her blind?
I mean, Grimmer is like, you know, it's like the Punisher, man. She'll take you out.
Nice.
She's she's like a Francis Castle.
Mm.
See, okay, like this, right? Like we've been
Francesca
talking
Castle.
about
Francesca
Vertebrae
Castle.
and his wheelchair fund. Like I can understand that. I gave to that today because I felt legitimately bad for this guy. I want to help him. I see shit like this though, and I don't want to do, like, I'm just like, no, this is bullshit. You're taking away from someone that needs it.
Yeah. And thanks, Frog G, for putting that link in the chat.
Thank you. Frog Genius never sleeps.
That frog is always just a hopping.
Yeah, and everybody should go back Absolute Book 2 because the first appearance of Frog G, you get the first appearance of Frog G in Absolute 2.
You should
So everyone go back in.
back once, but back many times.
Yeah, back many times because you'll get more perks. It's beautiful.
You should back the original pages 22 times.
I agree. Well, let's not get hasty here. I want some of those.
Can somebody come on here with a
Hey,
cell
Amanda
phone
B.
and no headphones, Lola, and still be fine?
Do what?
Can somebody use their cell phone and not have their headphones? Because Grimmer is trying to bullshit me that she can't come on because she doesn't have headphones.
I do it. Just saying.
Yeah, see, Lola does it, so come on. Don't be pussy.
Maybe she doesn't want
Sorry,
to come on.
Grimmer.
Were you going to say something, Clayton?
I'm abusing her into it.
Oh no, I'm all good.
I thought you were going to say something.
She will when she's ready. It's okay.
And I am too blind, Will. What do you mean?
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You have one kidney.
Yeah, and I have like one eye practically.
Yeah, but you can draw.
Yeah, but I'm still blind.
What are your thoughts on GoFundMes and
try.
people using it for stuff like that?
I walk into walls.
Is it what? Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, I think it's a bit lame, but I feel like if it's, I mean, I think, yeah, people should have the freedom to be able to start their GoFundMes, and if some people are silly enough to fall for lame ones like this wedding donation bucket, that's on them, I think. I mean, how many people would donate to someone else's wedding? That seems like a crazy thing to ask. I can't imagine that very many people jumped on board. But then, yeah, I mean, there's always going to be scam artists out there who really just do fool you, and that sucks. And it does prevent you from being so nice the next time around.
Well, let me put this out there to you. Okay, so Mars Girl was a gamer in and all this other shit, right? She crowdfunded for cat litter and something
Ew.
else.
Wait,
Like
what?
she managed to get like
What?
a couple $1,000s.
She can't buy her own cat litter?
No.
It's not that expensive.
And then there was another guy who, back when
Will
I
buys
first
his own
started
cat
in
litter.
Comicsgate, had crowdfunded for a sandwich.
And did it work?
It worked.
Well, wait a minute. From where?
That's just crazy.
What
What do you
kind
mean?
of What kind of sandwich? Like from where?
He should have like not been a soy feminist and like went and actually got a woman to make him one, but he didn't. So
Maybe
Well,
he
you
was
know
trying
what?
to.
I go, good on them. Good on them. If they manage to con that many people into funding a sandwich, then, I mean, if I'm going to be angry at them, that's out of jealousy. I wish I
Well,
had come up with that idea.
See, but this also plays in a part of like Twitch thoughts and stuff. They're providing nothing, but people are giving them money anyway. Same thing with this PayPal thing. They're providing no service, but people are giving them money anyway. They're not going to benefit. At least with like a lot of like like the GoFundMe with the wheelchair thing, you're helping somebody that actually needs it. You're getting a sensation of doing something right. It's beneficial to you and to the person you're doing it for.
Sometimes I think about if I had been born a woman instead, how
Rich.
large my Twitch channel would be.
You
I'd
would
rather
be
be dead myself, personally.
well, right, but if you had no morals, if you had no morals at all, yeah, if you were a hot chick, forget about it. You could be a millionaire so easily.
Well, yeah, I mean, morals only hold you back.
But Clayton, my sister used to say it all the time. She's like, shit, if I was better looking, I would have been a stripper. I would have breaking these motherfuckers. I'd be rich by now.
Well, yeah, but now strippers are going to Twitch because they don't have to
Yeah.
strip anymore. So they're
You
just
know,
going
because
to
they can't
Twitch.
strip anymore.
Well, that too. So they're just going to Twitch where they don't have to take their clothes off, but they can just sit in front of the screen with some cleavage and get paid bank more than they were stripping.
what about it says health sandwiches?
Yeah, but
See, what about
here's the
those?
thing, though, Jason, is I have a feeling that, like, these women aren't good hustlers anymore, That's probably why they don't go to Twitch, because you have to be kind of a decent hustler.
A little
Yeah.
bit. I mean, there's plenty of them that just lay there with whatever on, and they don't say a word, and they'll still get money somehow.
I mean-
they won't become millionaires, but they'll get money.
It seems I don't know what is the allure of a Twitch girl just being into nerd shit that makes you want to throw money at her. I don't understand it.
You're asking somebody who has a slight intellect, and I don't get it either.
Clayton, you're a philosopher as well. You tell me.
I don't know why people. Well, I see the appeal, but I don't know why people would pay for it because you can observe that appeal anywhere on the internet.
Yeah, and for free, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
for free. But some people feel like it. I think paying makes them feel like they're in some kind of relationship, some
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
interaction with the woman. So even though they're not, there is that interaction happening, and so that
But
transaction
that's sad
happening.
though, right? Like that's
Yeah.
sad because
It's really sad.
I mean, if you feel you have to buy someone's affections, that's
But see,
not how
this
it's supposed to work.
is where
Yeah.
having a. Go ahead, Clayton. Go ahead.
The only time you should put a woman on a pedestal is if you want to look up her skirt. But these guys,
They're
that's
putting the pussy
exactly
on a
what they're
pedestal,
doing.
Clayton.
Well,
What's that?
This is
Remember 40-year-old virgin? You're putting the pussy on the pedestal.
yeah, 40-year-old
Exactly.
virgin. Yeah, it's a good.
Yeah, and they again they end up. I mean, it's terrible that they would stoop so low as to give away their pennies just to observe a woman.
But see,
you
this
know.
goes back to like the days back before internet, where you had to go out, meet women. What the? Wow.
That wasn't
Get
me.
electrocuted.
Back when I was a kid, like in my teens, like AOL was around, and that was like just to hook up with girls from other high schools, not to like meet some chick in like Iowa. I was like, oh, Beverly Hills High School.
But
Yeah.
it was very uncommon though, to like do. Usually, you would still go to a bar, you would get rejected, or you'd hook up, and you would learn from the experience. Like now,
Yeah.
they don't get rejected, they don't hook up, so they're like they don't know what else to do. Oh, this girl's willing to pay attention to me if I give her $5.
Is my chair really loud, guys?
Yes, it's insanely.
WD-40 will.
I thought you fixed it, man.
If I turned off my avatar, what do you think was going on?
I don't want to know what's going on if you turn on your.
You don't want to walk past your parents' bedroom and hear that.
No, you
No.
don't. No. But that's why I stayed out late night. But no, yeah. I thought you fixed that, man. I thought you.
No, I mean, since the Red Valkyrie days, I have not, because you guys were going to crowdfund me a new gamer chair, and you never did.
Hey, don't say you. I wasn't part of this.
Grimmer says stop.
I'm with Grimmer on this one, Will.
That shit is. I got this microphone that actually works now, so it's like picking up everything.
Yeah, it's picking up everything.
Michael T says, "Wait, people meet each other in real life still?" Bro.
No, I'm afraid to meet Michael T
No,
in real life. I'm afraid of Michael T.
People don't meet people in real life anymore.
Well, yeah.
No, everybody has relationships through screens now. They don't have face-to-face contact anymore.
Face to face.
Like, this is why we end up with robots with bionic penises that can be programmed to be gay.
Well, but Lola, I'm quite fond of you, and I'm basically have a relationship with a butt.
The thing is, this experience in this one in itself is kind of beneficial because I got to meet some great friends, and I can't drive. I can't really go too many places.
Right,
so
but you can't have a sexual relationship
No.
with someone through a screen. Like,
No,
it just, sorry, doesn't work.
Not a proper one, anyway.
I mean, technically, you're just watching interactive porn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all that is. You might as well go and pay a cam girl.
You're right.
Hey, I appreciate if you stay out of my business.
She's
not a cam girl. It's not a cam girl. It's a girlfriend experience.
You're paying for the girlfriend experience.
Yeah. I was just saying, I shouldn't be allowed out in the wild anymore. I would love to, but that'd just be dangerous.
Michael T says you have the same relationship with most of this panel, Will.
Where I run in fear? No, I don't. I'm not afraid of any of these people. I love these people.
Oh, we love them too, Will.
I met a fellow philosopher from down under. My kooky mailman and Jason, the bug-eyed creature of Lola's avatar. The understudy of Dan Plagle in form of Makani. who's quickly gnawing at his heels.
Magadi's all quiet. He's like, nope, I ain't having this conversation.
No, he's slowly getting up there. He's like, I'm muscling in on Dan Plagle territory here. It's gonna be Troll Girl.
Although he's got to pick up the speed if he really wants to.
Yeah, that's the only thing you don't got on Dan Plagle is the speed. That's it.
Yeah. You got to draw 14 sketches in 20 minutes.
Yeah, your whole book would be done by now. Like the time I've been on here, it'd be like it'd been like crowdfunded already.
No, it's I guess that's the positive thing about being on Lola's streams each night is that I don't know, I like listening to you guys and I like letting you guys have the floor, and I end up becoming productive just by listening, just by being on here.
So my incessant yammering helps you?
If you want to put it that way, I enjoy your company. I enjoy being a part of it. I'm just happy to be a part of here, hanging with you guys. And I feel like I get to be productive. I feel like I get a lot of stuff done when I'm on Lola's stream. So
you know what's funny? Cavatino's comment there. It took me like 20 minutes to read those names. Then I'm like, oh, Amaranth.
Amaranth and Nicolol.
Nicolol's getting a lot of flack right now.
Who's Nicolol?
I only know these people because of Gundam.
She's the okay boomer girl.
Oh yeah, because of her $2 million home.
Yeah, because she comes off as a
who's
colossal
that chick?
Hypocrite.
Who's the chick who was like doing like snuff films or something, and she was like a major cam girl? Like, what's her name? And pretend she's like a little girl. What's her name?
Oh, Sikkim. No, hang on.
She's out of like England or something.
Belle.
Yes, that one.
Oh,
Belle
Delphine. Belle Delphine.
Yes.
She's doing snuff films now?
Yeah. Apparently
Why is that bitch gonna do snuff films? She sold bathwater. She made millions.
What are the names of them?
The thing is that, you talk about the hustle game, Will, and Belle Delphine kind of exemplifies what you're saying, because she's got that hustle.
She made $34,000 selling bathwater.
Mm-hmm. She's real smart.
And I remember like dudes were like losing their relationships because ladies, a guy buys some bitch's bathwater, you dump him on general principle.
Right?
Yeah, pretty bad. Why? I mean, I celebrate Belle Delphine for doing such things and achieving something
I was
great.
kinda like,
But the
You
dudes
would,
who bought it,
Clayton.
I did. I was like, that's some like Nietzschean type shit. That's like triumph of the will.
like,
And Michael T says no, that we're all butts. He was talking to you, Will.
I'm a butt.
No, he
You
said
are?
you have the same relationship with most of the panel, and it's that we're all butts.
I'm talking asses all the time.
I'm not a butt.
I was trying to browbeat Grimmer to come in here, but she keeps
Wait, I'm
saying
an
no.
asshole?
I'm not a butt.
Lola,
I'm a boy.
Am I a
We'll
butt?
get her on here. We'll get her on here one day.
can you invite her for me? And because she won't come in.
Is she on Twitter?
No, she's not on any social media. She's a social media agnostic.
Smart.
Good
Yeah.
for her.
Some
is she
people are-
cool?
Huh?
Is she cool?
Yeah, she's very cool.
I mean, is she cool?
Yeah, she's very cool.
Lola got it.
You've been watching Dazed and Confused too much.
Oh, okay. That kind of cool. But no, she's not underage.
I just couldn't help
Oh.
it.
How about is it's the only stoner on the panels? Like, yeah, I get that.
I'm not a.
You gotta love these high
I
school
don't smoke
girls,
weed.
man. They say I
You
get
get
older,
older and
they
they
say
all stay the same.
Same.
maybe want to dump
Aye,
those
aye.
up in here, but that's all right.
All right.
Matthew McConaughey was fucking cool in that movie, though.
He was cool in that movie.
Slipstick says, I want hookers and a hot tub full of strawberry quick. Hashtag GoFundMe.
Done.
Plus, he had that badass Chevelle, that Chevelle Super Sport he had, that black one with the racing stripes.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, like, my dream car has always been a 1970 Chevelle.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was a
So
good
I'm like,
too.
shit, I'm a dude. I would have jumped in the car with Matthew McConaughey. Fuck those two dudes.
Hell yeah.
Matthew McConaughey's awesome.
Like, every time I say that to people, like, in my real life, they're like, you would die in that car. And I'm like, it would be the best death ever.
He was trying to get up on the ginger chick, wasn't he? The one with the fro.
Yeah, she was
Mhm.
hot.
She's like, hey, why don't you dump the two losers and get in the car with us? But that's all right. And of course, they're like, what a dick. And she's like, he was kind of cute. The two Gamma guys are like, what a dick.
Yeah.
Michael T wants to know when you're doing a hot tub stream, Will.
Me? I don't have a hot tub anymore. I'll do it from the bathtub if you like.
There you
Yes.
go. Yeah.
Do it.
He's gonna
Sell
sell,
the
Will's
water.
gonna sell Will's gonna sell Michael his bathwater.
Yeah. This one's from my ass.
Black flag glass water.
This is from Frega's ass.
I know, right?
Hey, guess what though? Right?
Hmm.
There is a viable option for us dudes to make a career online. Because there's lots of gay dudes out there and we're all handsome men.
Mhm.
So, and it's not like, you know, we don't really have to do anything except dance in front of a camera naked,
It's
which
true.
we'd be doing in front of a female audience anyway.
Well, I don't know. If I might have lost my sex appeal, Clayton, these days.
You? Why? Oh, you did grow
Yeah,
your beard back.
you guys go on ahead with that. I got
So I mean, I don't have I don't, I'm not myself homosexual, but I will be flattered if anything finds me attractive. So
Oh, come on, man. I thought you went on a date like last stream.
huh? With who?
With like a shaved, you had like a cleanly shaved face.
Oh no, with because certain somebody asked me to shave it.
Oh,
Oh
yeah. Was that like somebody who found you attractive?
I think she does. I don't know.
Did.
Oh, cool.
It's past tense.
She touches me, sometimes.
Do you remember her?
Of course I do.
He remembers her fondly.
Ah, yeah.
Quite fondly.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm trying to browbeat her.
No, I mean,
sometimes you don't even have to be that attractive. Sometimes you just have to look a bit novel, and that's all that's needed.
Yes, I look very ethnic.
see, I mean, all you gotta do is you can even just know how to hold yourself well, and you can make yourself look like you're like a muscle dude. And you can fake it till
Yeah.
you make it. You know.
Just suck your gut in a bit.
Yeah, so if you got to angle it right, you can look
Uh-huh.
like you got muscles. Man.
Exactly it.
What's this, Lola?
So y'all know me, like I've always got to talk about pets and weird animals and weird shit. I find
Yeah, 'cause
about
you want
weird.
an
Yeah,
alligator,
especially
I know.
especially after last night when you were wanting a low maintenance animal and we're telling you like,
which is equals an alligator. But go ahead.
But now I
yeah,
want this
exactly.
prehistoric lizard.
So you want a prehistoric lizard as a low maintenance animal?
It's pretty low maintenance.
Look,
dead.
it's the world's smallest dinosaur.
This looks like the beginning of Jurassic Park.
A dinosaurio.
It does, doesn't it? How we learn nothing.
Are we gonna clone this one?
I don't know.
Lola wants a
over
pet. She wants a pet. She wants a low maintenance pet.
I want something that no one else can have, like
a dinosaur.
You know what
Yeah.
I say to that, Lola? You know what I say
Yeah,
to
but
that?
I assume a dinosaur is probably very high maintenance because you have to do a lot for the.
Yeah,
take care of a
it takes a lot of food, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it depends on the size of the dinosaur.
They may
I
start eating.
hate
They may
you
start
so much.
Will's chair is the dinosaur in the panel. Hey, who wants to say the name of this dinosaur? Because I can't. There's no way.
Oh my
I
god!
can't see it, Lola.
Oculodentavis
Let me try. Let me try.
I've got it highlighted there.
Okay. Oculodentavius con gray.
Close enough.
Oculodentavius con gray.
Deus.
Holy,
Which one?
Yeah,
was this
let the
like
Latin
the
dude
start
say
of
it.
the beer bug? Is this what started it all?
No. Lola.
What?
It said that they unveiled the discovery of this thing in March of 2020. Okay.
It was going on before then, though.
Was it?
Yeah, it was like well, that's why it's called 19. The word number 19 is after it because that's when it was discovered.
But it's so weird. Look at this thing. It's got a distorted skull, and it was preserved in amber.
Yeah, what's the size that it gets?
I don't know if it tells that, but it's in a Florida museum, so
Go get it.
You know what's in the Florida Museum?
Florida man.
No, the link, and Grimmer should hit it. You should have a call-in show, Lola, where people call in and just talk shit to us.
Don't you have to do that through like Discord or something?
I don't know.
You would have to get like a burner phone or something like that. Something that you can do.
But I don't know. It's like I found it interesting. Like
It's a tiny dinosaur.
it's the tiniest dinosaur, and it's preserved in amber.
Well, I think if this were alive, this would make a great.
And it's a
pet for you.
lizard.
It's a tiny. Why don't you just get a lizard?
Oh, I don't doubt. See, look at that comment. See, I hate it when people talk about themselves like that, Lola.
What?
What?
What Grimmer said.
I didn't see what Grimmer said. I'm looking at a tiny dinosaur.
Oh, I bet you're just as exciting, even
as
more
he
so.
makes me
Like
seem.
you come on here with me, and I promise you'll be exciting.
Yeah.
We're excited just to have you.
We love meeting new people.
Yeah. I was excited
Clayton
to have
loves
you.
meeting new people. You can
Red
hear the
Dwarf
excitement.
Petey Sparrow? What are you talking about, Slipstick?
Probably this little dinosaur.
Oh, like isn't that like a English TV show?
Yeah, it's a Red Dwarf is a show or an anime or something like that.
It's like a Doctor like Who type thing. It's like on
Oh,
forever.
okay, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
I think the only English comedy I ever liked was Dark Place. Or
I don't know.
whatever.
I thought the tiny lizard was kind of cute. I was
No,
like,
I could. Well, I mean, I could barely see him, but I'm sure he was.
I'm sure 99 billion years ago, he was like the cutest little guy ever until the T-Rex came along.
I don't think if he was that tiny, I don't think a T-Rex even noticed him.
I don't,
You know,
could the
he might
T-Rex
have
pick
been-
him up with his tiny arms?
No, the T-Rex can't do anything with his tiny arms. That's why he's always so angry.
Well, if you had tiny arms, wouldn't you be mad?
Yeah, he'd be mad all the time.
Well, you kind of. I mean,
Can't scratch my back.
You can't scratch your nose.
Yeah, my
I
nose.
can't. I can't. My hands are too small to reach down there. I can't. I'm frustrated.
I bet the T-Rex was mad because he couldn't comb his hair.
Oh, look
Ooh,
at this.
yeah,
We're
there
on
you
to
go.
something. We're on to something.
Let's see. What else do I have that we can talk about?
I don't know, but I gotta get going soon.
Do you? Oh, you do.
your mama's got to get going soon.
My mom's asleep already. And Clayton's all muted down there.
You know what? If I was going to sell, Incredible Comics bathwater, I would probably freeze Dan's and say, "Look, cool as ice," and I'd ship it like,
Oh, look at that.
refrigerated
Genius.
with like a Black Flag logo on the top with like a mixtape.
Look, you got all kinds of
Oh.
ideas coming to you now.
Yeah,
No,
I put dry ice in there and say that
No.
was it.
Will,
Dan
that
is-
hamster wheel is just a turn.
Yeah, Dan is so cool. He's so vanilla ice.
Black
It doesn't
Flag ice cube trays.
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
There you go.
Are you?
Sell
I
the
mean,
bathwater with it?
did you buy any of our swag, Jason?
Negative Ghost. Well, no, I bought the Black Flag shirt
Sweet.
and the challenge coin.
And or did you get a shirt, Lola?
I did. Remember, I bought
You
it.
got the AAT shirt.
I bought it. I haven't gotten it yet, though.
No.
But did you get the Black Flag shirt or AAT shirt only?
I think it was just the AAT shirt,
And Clayton.
but I got the
Clayton's
book
muted.
too.
Clayton's taking care of the babe of his kids, probably.
And I don't know if Mac can eat back Black Flag.
Calling you out. Oh, how dare you!
I'm sorry.
Oh,
It's
there's
okay.
no apologies.
Everyone,
No.
everyone's broke.
Any of y'all know what Five Nights at Freddy's is?
Yes,
Yes.
I covered this on Saturday's Rogue Entertainment.
Mm.
And
I'm not apologizing.
yep,
What
I covered it.
happened?
So for those who don't know, Five Nights at Freddy's is a very popular game. It's got a huge cult following, and picture it's like a game where you're like surviving a night in like a haunted Chuck E. Cheese, like where all the animatronics come to life.
Any of y'all
That's
seen
good.
Willy's Wonderland?
I know what Five Nights at Freddy is.
I don't want to go to a Willy's Wonderland.
It's not that kind of Wonderland with.
But
Well, he's just
but
explaining
to
it,
kind of to basically what's going on is that the creator, it's been revealed that the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's, he has donated to Republican campaigns. He's donated to Trump. He's a devout Christian himself, and they've been trying to get him canceled, get a lot of flack. But he went on over the weekend. He went on Reddit to say his piece, and he's basically not apologizing for anything. And he says those claims are baseless. Like he supports everyone. He supports LGBTQ. He supports everybody. And the thing is that he's hired, with his project and everything, is like he's hired so many people based on just merit alone that you get that natural diversity. You get the diverse group of people that he considers friends, he considers colleagues and such. So he's not apologizing, period. And he's denying, and he's not a homophobe for it. He's supported a lot of people. So
Yeah.
I love it because he's stood his ground. It's a very based take when you think about it.
I actually never understood the term homophobe. Like, isn't that implying irrational fear?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think homosexuals are funny, but I'm not afraid of them. You know what I mean? Like, it's very funny, but I'm not. But why would you be afraid?
They got such great style.
Well, I mean, you could be
Yeah.
jealous of that. I mean, you can be jealous of the product, I guess, if you're into that.
Afraid.
But you can always just go get fake ones downtown LA.
Fake one.
Maybe because they wear what do they call vipers? Maybe because they wear vipers.
I thought Viper was the guy that created Crackback.
Aren't vipers like the Owen Hart or what do you call them? Like
I have no
glasses.
idea I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, you're from the
Sunglasses?
South. You know what vipers are.
Sunglasses?
Yeah, the ones that are kind of visor looking that like wrap
Oh
around the head.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Ugh. All the country boy fishermen wear them things.
But yep, see, I told you you're all country as hell. You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And
Redneck boys.
have you actually been to a hoedown?
Kitty.
Depends
Is that
on
a
what
kitty?
how you
Kitty.
mean that comment.
Like, well, the stereotypical hoedown.
No.
Not laying a hoe down.
What's a stereotypical hoedown?
You know, somebody's got like a wine jug and they're blowing in it. You know, and
Lola, you want to take this question?
What?
Clayton asked what is a stereotypical hoedown.
Yes.
I wouldn't know because I've never been to one.
Go see go.
Well,
You can go to see these things?
Have you ever been line dancing, Lola?
Line dancing. That's what it is.
No, I'm dead ass serious.
When I was in my early teens, my best friend, she was a clogger. And so like they would go to this like it wasn't a bar or anything, but it was like a place where people would go to dance and they would line dance and stuff.
It was like Coyote Ugly.
Oh no.
have you
It
ever
was way more redneck than that.
have you been to a hootenanny?
A
I was
hootenanny?
about to say I've been to a hootenanny. Yeah, exactly.
What is a hootenanny?
It's a made up word.
I've heard people say things like,
Been to a shindig before?
"Oh, look, it's Billy. Billy's up
Hey.
right now."
Billy's
Wait.
here?
It's
Hey,
a Billy. Billy, where you at, man?
What's the most like? Is it like what is the thing they have in a barn? What are those?
It's
a
a
hoedown.
hoedown.
That's the
Hoedown.
hoedown. Oh, okay. I thought you'd been to one of those.
No,
What?
I've not been to a hoedown.
Look, kids, it's Billy
I've never
Basco.
partied in a barn.
Yeah.
I've
That's all
never
that a
raised
hoedown.
up in a barn.
That's all that a hoedown is, Clayton. Is like a bunch of people get together, go to a barn, and play country music and dance.
Oh.
No.
And eat lots of barbecue.
When
I
you
thought
were
it was
in
like-
your, sorry, go
Oh,
on.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
When you were in your teens, Lola, and the boys wanted to impress you, did you guys go to the 7-Eleven like late at night and like they would do donuts in front of you?
No.
Lola's
But
confused.
we
But-
did all hang out in parking lots.
Oh, we did that.
And
too.
everybody owned like a freaking huge ass truck.
Yeah.
With wheels on it that like you had to like get a step stool just to climb up in the thing.
That's the
Yeah,
sound.
So
That's cool.
I was half right.
That's cool.
Or like they would put lights on their tires and on their undercarriage and
Yeah, they did that here.
But everybody hangs out in a parking lot because you have nowhere else to go and nothing else to do.
Yeah, we did that in Ohio. Only we kind of had places to go and things to do, but it would be like at like Denny's, and you'd hang out in the parking lot or something.
Well, see, what we used to do is we'd go to the movies, right? And so, like, we'd go see, like, you'd go to dinner, then you go to movies, and then you would go to the Awful Waffle.
So what is that?
Waffle House.
Waffle
Was it
House.
good?
No, it's awful.
No, it's called the Awful Waffle for a
Waffle. I
reason.
thought it was you said waffle waffle.
Like, you
that.
always have a waitress that has, like, one tooth in her head.
Is it actually called the awful waffle?
No,
Or
it's
is it
called
like-
Waffle House.
It's called a Waffle House.
That's the name of it. Is Waffle House.
We didn't have those in LA. I'm sorry.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but that's the name of it.
I come from a patrician place. I'm sorry.
You should be sorry.
No, I
How
grew up
dare
in
you.
Texas. I know what a Waffle House is.
Well, we didn't have them.
Will better apologize.
I think
Clayton
the
knows what we're
equivalent.
talking
I would
about.
say the equivalent of like a Waffle House in like
I
California.
get it.
I would say equivalent of like a Waffle House in California would be like a Denny's. Like
Yeah,
late
like
night.
Denny's, or maybe like a Norm's.
No,
Yeah.
it's way more lowbrow than that. Like I said, you'll get like this waitress that weighs like 400 pounds. She's got one tooth in her head. She's probably been working since like 6 a.m.
Yeah, probably it's 6 a.m. in the morning. Yeah.
I've actually got a funny Waffle House story.
So
if you wanna
who's
hear it.
correct then? Is What About correct or Grimmer correct? Which one is
What?
correct?
What?
They both have opposite opinions of Waffle House.
What are they?
Grimmer says the Waffle House is ghetto, but What About says the Waffle House is nice.
So which one's correct?
Waffle House
Hey, guys.
is ghetto.
I'll be right, guys. I'll be right back.
All right, Mom.
All right.
Because Norm's, I remember you could feed like a village for like $20.
I mean,
Lola,
yeah, their food is cheap. Their food is cheap.
I got,
Actually,
you know what? I have an attachment to Norm's because my best friend took me there the morning I lost my virginity. So Norm's holds a special place in my heart.
I think Will wants to, or Clayton wants to know more about that. Will.
I was just kind of standing there in my bedroom, and my best friend just kind of walked into my house because we had that kind of house where people could just walk in. And it was like 6:30 in the morning, and I got home from dropping her off, and he walks in and goes, "What's up, dog? Let's go to Norm's." I'm like, "I lost my virginity, motherfucker! I'm buying you a cake."
That's nice.
There you go. Celebratory cake.
I can't use the words he used because we get struck.
Hey, Chaos.
Did the girl come with you?
No, I dropped her off. She was in Beverly Hills.
I haven't seen Chaos in here before, have we? I don't know. Welcome.
So, you see what I mean by AOL? You know?
What does it say, Lola?
Waffle House in my town is famous for women with head transplants. 78-year-old lady heads on 25-year-old bodies.
Yeah,
Oh.
gross.
I've seen that one. I see it in Eugene all the time. I see it all the time here in Eugene.
Yeah, Denny's had in my area. They had some hot waitresses back in the day.
I call it meth head.
I actually dated a few of them.
Billy, what's up?
Billy's here and I'm leaving. So
Billy's kind of like a midget. You can't help but smile when you see him.
Oh.
Are you heading out?
I gotta.
Wait, what?
I gotta go to bed. I'm tired.
All right. You take care, man. Thanks for
Bye,
coming
Jason.
with me.
Sorry, Billy. It's
He's
not
ducking you,
because-
Billy.
Yeah, I am. I'm scared of you.
I'm still here though, Billy.
There you go. Your sense of style.
We're all here, Billy.
Billy's like asleep.
Are you
He's
awake?
paying attention.
Billy is just here. He's gone to sleep, but he's still here.
His avatar isn't vibrating.
Well,
Billy?
he says that he just woke up, so.
Billy. Oh, Billy.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, Jason.
No worries,
Night,
Jason. Take
Jason.
care, man.
Later.
So, anyways, I lost my virginity that morning.
Cool.
Billy
That's
just
awesome.
left.
Billy's like, we're done.
Yeah, Billy's out of here. And what was
too
it?
much.
What was it like to finally lose your virginity? Will,
Um,
was it an awkward first time, or was it like, holy shit, that was better than I could have ever imagined? Kind
No,
of. thing?
actually, it didn't feel that great. To the
Yeah,
truth,
it's always a bit weird.
it
isn't
took me a while. You know, like
Yeah,
I
I'm like,
do remember.
Oh, it should have got. I was like, oh, should I get married first? That was my first time. I'm like, oh, I feel bad because I didn't marry this woman yet.
No, for me, it was more like,
There's Billy.
is this supposed to feel like this? Because like, I don't feel really much of anything.
Oh,
Okay.
but then did you enjoy it?
I mean, it was cool because she was
Are
very,
we talking about blown out vaginas?
she was
No,
very, very
first time.
attractive. But then the next one was awesome.
Ah,
Yeah, with her, the same woman. But the first time with that woman, it was, I like honestly, I didn't feel anything really.
yeah. It's strange and uncomfortable. And did you? Was it kind of like over in, like before it really began?
No, it took a
Like-
while. It took a while.
Oh, there you go. See, I don't even know if I made it in.
He did
Oh
the
my
Andy
God.
Murphy. Where he's like, "That's not it."
I couldn't wait.
Yeah,
just-
mine was so bumbling. It was like Hannibal Lecter, like fumbling in the back of cars,
Yeah.
sticky fumblings in the back of cars.
Oh, it was in the back of a car.
No, it was in my bedroom.
Oh, cool. Oh,
See, Billy left again. We creeped him out. He's like, "Fuck this," and he left.
No. Billy.
Yeah, but he'll be back to tell us his story.
Oh, Billy will. You know, it just takes very little for Billy. You just kind of got to wind him up a little bit, and he'll go for like 4 hours.
Totally, that's right.
Yeah, but that was me. I mean, nothing special, but I got a cake out of it for my best friend.
That's awesome. You have
You
a
got a
good friend.
cake for losing your virginity?
I just said that. I was that morning. I came back. I dropped her off. We were out all night together. I dropped her off. I came home. I was barely walking. I lived in like a back house of my parents' house, and we had like my parents, like my house was always like an open house, right? Everyone just walked in, like my sister's friends, everybody. Like we were just a very welcoming household, you know.
Awesome.
So like you would just go up the driveway, open the back gate, and come into my back house. So like, you know, no one gave a shit. So people would just walk in. So you just like which was in the neighborhood, walked into my room at 6:45 in the morning, right when I walked in, and in his very extra ghetto Mexican way, was like, "Yo, what's up? Let's go get some norms," with appropriate racial slurs thrown in. And I said, "Hey, I lost my virginity." He's like, "Ah, oh, dog, I'm getting you a cake now."
So the chick was already gone at this point?
Yeah,
or was
I dropped her off.
you? Oh, cool. Oh, right. So she didn't stay the night.
No, I took her home.
It wasn't a tag team situation, Clayton.
No.
Oh.
I
know you have hopes of stories like that.
She became my girlfriend after that.
Yeah.
So. But that was cool because it was like what attached to what was more fun for me was hanging out with my friend and getting some cake as opposed to like the losing of the virginity,
Yeah.
Because that's what I remember the most was like going to Norm's and getting my schooner thing that they brought you at Norm's.
I'm so glad I'm a female.
Why
is that?
Because we don't celebrate shit like that.
Oh, you should. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Not when you're a female. No.
Us men kind of go high five and, good job.
It's uncomfortable, it's awkward, and it hurts.
Oh, the first time?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
it's a bitch.
Yeah.
I can't. Never mind.
We're not getting cakes and like throwing confetti everywhere and being like, let's throw a block party because like somebody lost their virginity.
Yeah, Corey, the cake was more fun. I didn't really enjoy my first time, to tell you the truth.
I can say one thing that we do have on you guys is that you rarely will find a woman that's a premature ejaculator. So.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
I wish I could find them, but they're just nowhere to be found. Because the good thing about women,
prematurely ejaculate.
Even if they did prematurely ejaculate, they are able to have multiple orgasms.
That's another thing.
Billy, I refuse to accept that. I think you were a sexual dynamo, probably.
Yeah.
Or as Jesse the Body Ventura, a sexual tyrannosaurus.
I mean, he told us that he would get paid in shoes for banging some chick. I know you, Billy. You were basically a gigolo who was paid with shoes.
I don't see anything wrong with it. I say, Billy, get your shoes.
Yeah.
It was good and it was getting good.
Billy is like a walking tragedy of love. He's endured so much for love. Got his leg smashed, got thrown out on the freeway, got beat up.
He's had some adventures.
He said he lost his after he joined the Marines.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but I mean, chicks like a uniform, Billy. So I'm sure you were straying late in pipe.
But how old were you? How old were you when that happened?
Who, him? He was probably me or him.
You.
Me?
The story you just told us with the cake. How old were you?
I was late, like I think 17 or 18.
Yeah, that was like me. What do you mean late? That's like around the time.
But most, when.
How old were you, Clayton?
Yeah, I was about the same when I actually had sex.
Yeah, messed around a lot.
I was about 16, 17.
I mean, we made out, and like you made out with women and touched a lot of things, but you never.
Yeah, like hand jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say fumbling the backs of cars.
It surprises me sometimes, like just like how young I was when I started thinking about sex. Like kids, man, don't think they're innocent. You've got to like keep an eye on them, especially as a parent, because they could be getting up to mischief with the neighborhood kids.
It's also funny how quickly, as a boy, you get into girls. It's like day to day, right? It's like you're girls. It's like a switch goes off. You're like, oh, girls,
Yeah, I was like 6 years old. I'm like,
Is it? But isn't it fun? Remember, it was literally like a day to day thing. It was like one day you're like cooties, and the next day you're like, I love women.
Yeah. I don't think I ever thought they had cooties, actually. Whenever my friends said, ew, or yeah, I was like, what are you talking about? I don't know. I kind of want a piece of that.
Yeah, it came later to me. I think it came around like 8 or 9.
No. I just want to jump up in those cooties. Get them all.
I think
it was more like
I think
8
it
or
was around 9 or
actually.
10 when it set off for me, and I was like, oh, girls rock.
Yeah. I remember kids in my class. I was in year 4, which means I was about 9 years old, and there were kids who were dating each other, which is hilarious to me thinking back to it. I'm like, man, they had no idea. but they were like pretending. It was like make pretend.
Yeah, that's true. The leaves in the forest.
Yes, exactly. It's the first time you find a porno magazine, which is, I mean, back in our day it was a very commonplace. You just go you go to your dad's like bathroom and find just a stack of porno mags just waiting there. They weren't difficult to find. They were commonplace. Oh, you could go to the newsagent. You'd sneak in with your friends and look at all the dirty magazines.
Or
and
go to the
giggle.
beaded curtain in the movie store. Remember where they had rental tapes?
Totally. I don't know
And they
what.
were
I
like
don't know where you people be living,
L.A.,
but
Babylon.
yeah, I never saw anything like that.
Michael T's actually exactly right. In my first time, I was like, if you read Michael T's comment, like that's exactly what was going through my head. So,
So you were sheltered, Lola.
Do what?
You were sheltered then, in comparison to
Not
me and
really.
Will.
Like, I live next to a place called Buck Snort, and it had two things: a porn store and a gas station. That was it.
Is it really called Buck Snort?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I would love to tell somebody
I didn't live in Buck Snort. I lived next door to Buck Snort.
Now, what's in Buck Snort? Like, are the people like of Buck Snort? Or are they like normal?
They're normal. But like I said, they have a porn store and then they have a gas station and that's it.
Well, of course, they got a gas station.
And a porn store.
I mean, there's tons of porn stores in LA, like tons of them.
No, well, you don't understand. This is a very tiny place in southern, like, Bible Belt.
I can imagine it.
What does Billy say? I made the mistake of telling the girl that I had just lost my virginity right after it had happened. She wasn't impressed with my admission after the fact and just said I was lying. Yeah, Billy's doing the taxi cab confessions tonight.
He should come on here and tell a story or two.
He was, but we were too extra for him.
I can't say anything on that.
Buck Snort or Buck Snort? It's Snort.
Like snort.
Buck Snort.
Like a disgusting inhale of breath through your nose.
Yeah, it's famous for its porn store.
Is it called like the porn store?
I think it's called Buck Snort Porn Store.
I mean, the same guy who bought me my cake for my virginity party there, he used to work at a porn shop down the street from me, and I would go and visit him at night, and he used to tax all the crackheads that would come in. And, we'd be standing there talking in his porn shop, and a crackhead would come in and try to, like, ask him for a deal on tobacco pipes.
Yeah.
And he would make them do a dance, make them, basically shed their dignity before he would give them a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny how they would just kind of get down and do the jig, And I never knew they would crackhead jig until I was hanging out with my friend at his porn shop.
They were probably primed for it, being crackheads. They probably would have done it for free.
Well, he would raise the price because he needed to have his commission.
Yeah. Did your cake say, like, congratulations, you lost your virginity, or?
No, he told the waitress that, though.
He sounds like a cool guy. Did he ask for details? Was he like, dude, how was it?
If anybody owns the Roadhouse DVD with Patrick Swayze, that guy is on that DVD.
Oh, what?
There's a special feature where they interview like bouncers about like the authenticity of the movie, and he's one of the, because he was voted the number one bouncer in LA, so he's in there.
Dude, that's cool. A number one bouncer in LA.
Yeah, he won.
Okay, second most important question, Will, was it chocolate or vanilla?
It was chocolate.
What kind of icing?
Like fudge. It was a la mode.
I thought we were talking about the chick for a second.
No, she was a white Russian.
Oh boy.
She was a Russian Jewish girl.
Like, virginity cakes are now going to become a thing. Thanks, Will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should celebrate these things.
What, a Russian Jewish girl?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Any girl, really. I mean, getting laid at all is an achievement these days.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the days of COVID. I mean, that's like that's achievement unlocked.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
freaking Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movie.
And
I know, right?
I've done it, so I feel like I got into Langley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about says White Russian? You banged a drink?
It was quite cold. Yes.
Yes, he definitely banged a drink.
Actually, she was half Russian, half Ukrainian.
Ah, so she was mixed
Yes, but all Jewish.
with ice.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Oh,
What, Lola? What?
nothing.
You want to know what I ate? I don't remember what I ate. I just remember the cake.
No, I find it funny that you
Don't
got a
hold
cake
back.
for losing your virginity.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, I have good friends.
Like I said, we as females, we don't do stuff like that. We don't celebrate stuff like that because
At all?
my
Okay,
friends.
let me find a picture of the guy who did this, and you'll get a good idea.
Okay, so
Hold
like
on.
me and my friends were like 14, 15 years old when we lost ours.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Oh, yeah. See, it's in the teens, right? And you as a parent, you think like your kids are going to like be perfectly innocent until like 25.
oh no, we were fucking deviant as hell. Like we knew shit that our parents didn't know.
Oh yeah, yeah. Same. It's
Thanks
it's
to
really
the
hilarious.
internet.
And yeah, your parents. Well, at least my mother tried to keep me out of trouble. It didn't work very much though.
Like I was the only person that probably knew like my parents like weird deviancies as well. So
Oh.
like my mom was one of those that was very open. Like, what is that noise?
That's my scroll wheel. I'm trying to find something.
Will, what is going on over there? Your chair, your scroll wheel?
I mean, I guess I have a way too good of a microphone.
Yeah.
Do we need to send you some WD-40?
Here, how about this?
Oh my
No,
God.
like I had a very open mom who would talk to me about anything I had questions about, and of course I was that kid that
That's
always
cool.
asked why, right? So like I knew more stuff than I ever should have at ages I probably shouldn't have known stuff.
But was that like? Is it a better thing to have a very open parent, or
I think so,
is
because
the yeah? I think so. I think
like
so.
I wasn't a curious teenager. I wasn't like, oh, sex, it's like this big, thing that I've made up in my head to be this amazing, great, spectacular thing that first time. Like I didn't know what I was to expect. None of that. Like I knew what was gonna happen. I knew.
Totally.
Yeah, like I wasn't curious.
Do you wish that you were more curious? Like, did it spoil the surprise a little bit?
No, because it wasn't a surprise. I knew what was gonna happen.
There you go. And I mean, but did that make you feel better than if it were a surprise? Like, did you want to have some level of curiosity there, or did you feel much better having the confidence in knowing that exactly how things were going to play out? Because there's a bit of tension there, especially the first time around. Like, oh, what's going to happen?
No, there was no tension there.
There you go.
No.
Oh, it sounds boring. Was it boring?
There you go. This is the guy who bought me the cake.
This is the guy that bought you a virginity cake?
Yeah.
That guy's awesome.
So there you go. That was my best. Is my best friend. But it was this room. I was standing right there, and he walked in from this direction. Hey, what's up? Yeah, I lost your virginity. Okay, great. Let's go. So this dude. So that's the guy who buys you a virginity cake.
That's awesome.
So
It's cool. He was happy for you.
yeah.
It's like, good on you, Will. It was eventually going to happen.
Like it has to happen. Where'd Will go?
Oh,
He kicked himself. Will kicked himself.
No.
Will, you boomer, get back in here.
internet might have gone out or something.
I boomered out. Anyway,
There he is.
Boomer.
now do you understand
Goodness.
what kind of gentleman would buy me such a thing?
Yep.
What is what about talking about? What is a pregnancy pack?
Grimmer would like to know how long I've been telling my virginity story. Only as long as people keep asking, and Clayton was very interested in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you tell
packs?
Grimmer that it's not me
Oh,
just
I know
talking?
I know what about's talking about.
What are they?
There was a thing going around for a bit where like these girls in this one town, they made a pact to like lose their virginity and get pregnant by the time they like graduated high school or something, and
Gross.
like
Oh.
some of them actually went through and did it.
My goodness.
Like it was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of messed up.
But our society places a lot of emphasis on sex, right? Like
It does, doesn't it? I mean, it's a powerful thing. It's primal.
well, look, we know that sex sells, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, people buy it.
We know that everybody does it. Everybody has a internal need for it.
Yep.
But it's still kind of taboo in a weird way, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah,
it's inappropriate to talk about stuff like that, you know?
Well, yeah, because like we live in a society that also says that if we talk about it, we're bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's bad to talk about it in mixed company, and it's bad to like have conversations. I know women who are in their mid-20s to early 30s that do not understand their bodies. They do not understand how sex works.
Oh. Yeah, you know, it's really weird because I'm in the same situation. There's like both dudes and women who it's not 100% that this is the case, but they could very well be virgins, and they're like, you know, hitting 30.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, we make a
nothing
big
wrong
deal
with
like there's something wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with someone, you know, wanting to save that for something, you know, someone special, someone that they actually love and care about. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, if you want to wait till
They
marriage,
want
like
that.
way more power to you, to tell the truth.
But like we put so much emphasis on it, like it shames those people that are waiting for that.
Oh, it's true. What do you think, Markini?
I really can't say much. I really can't say much on this because.
I mean, you're drawing a sexy woman there.
Well,
right there. She's beautiful, by the way.
I chickened out. That's. I chickened out at the last moment. Just kind of.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
So,
and you
well,
don't
I
have to talk
understand.
about it either, marketing. You don't have to
Chickened
talk
out
about
in what?
it.
Like you don't want to talk about it, or chickened out in the actual act of? What are you talking about?
In the actual act.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. And like I said, you don't have to talk about it with us if you don't want to. I'm not gonna sit here and say anything about it. That's your business.
And we're just being cavalier because we're jaded old men.
I just live I kind of live vicariously through you guys, so I just kind of It's just I mean, I really can't see much because it's just too personal. It's just too personal. It's just too much.
Yeah,
what about
something I regret all the personal.
Nothing bad happened. It's just. You know what?
Well,
I'm going to say it. I'll just say this. At least the person I attempted to do it was my best friend.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
And we're still best friends till this day. So that I can at least say that. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's actually common, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. This is like a really relatable story.
It's actually very common that, you know, men will a lot of the time, you know, spend a lot of time with one woman, like as their best friend in school, and that'll end up being the person that either they accidentally or they get into a relationship with, or you know, it almost happened to me a couple of times in high school. I was just too stupid to realize that these women wanted to have sex with me.
Right.
Dude, I know,
because like Billy said, I was a fat kid up until about 10th grade, and then I went that summer I got into hardcore wrestling, and then I got into extremely good shape.
Oh.
But when I came back to school, I wasn't used to that attention, so I thought that all girls wanted was to be my friend. But I didn't realize I looked different, and they wanted something else. You get what I'm saying, Clayton?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
So
my worst regrets is thinking back to when I was in my early 20s and just like there was this one time when this chick had invited me around to her place to watch David Lynch movies, which she knew I liked.
that's pretty
And I could
cool.
tell she wasn't all that interested in it. And I'm like, and I think back to that and I'm like, man, she was so she was so coming on to me. She even like
Because
picked me up from the
signs.
train station and everything. I was right there. I was right there. I didn't do anything.
Yeah,
was-
I had at least 7 women that did that to me in high school, and
What?
they were my friends. And all my friends were like, why aren't you fucking any of these women? I'm like, they're my friends. They don't like me. And like, and I'm not talking like these were like the hottest women in school. They were like my friends, and I just kind of kicked it with them. And I was so stupid, I didn't realize that like a couple of them were really trying to do something.
Probably,
Right?
yeah.
And one of them like got so enraged with me when she found out I lost my virginity. Like she like stopped being my friend.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Like, she was
There was
pissed.
jealousy over you losing your virginity. And
Huh?
you got
Wanted you.
cake. It was the cake, man. It was the cake. She was
Yeah, like
mad
we were
'cause you
talking
got cake.
casually, like a couple days later. I'm like, oh yeah, I lost my virginity. My virginity. She's like, how dare you? She got pissed. It was like what is it called? Like Greta Thunberg like indignation. How dare you?
yeah.
It was the cake, man. It was because you got cake and you didn't share.
No, she was crazy too. She was nuts.
Was she still your friend afterwards, or was she like forget it?
Well, weirdly and like when I was a fat kid, her best friend was like the hot girl that like came from Beverly Hills. You know how like the new hot girl that everybody wants.
Yeah.
You know? So when I was a fat kid, I tried to ask her out, and she like just shot my ass down because I was a fat kid, and she was like the hot chick dating like the 40-year-old dude or whatever.
Yeah.
And I kind of forgot about her, and she was her best friend. And I remember one night I was at my place, and that friend called me and was like, "Hey, can we? Me and Ellie are together. Can we come and hang out with you?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay." So they come over, and she walks in the room, and I hadn't seen her in like 3 years, and they're hanging out with me, and she kept like asking me to do things. Like
what?
Like I would sit at my computer just like chilling. Like I was stupid, Clayton. I didn't know how to pick up any signals. So I'm sitting at my computer, and she sits on my lap.
Whoa.
And she's like, "Oh, can you massage me?" And like and my friend Annette's like the one that got went crazy. Like, stop hitting on my friend.
Well, it's hard, man. You've got to learn that. Like one thing that I've learned is that not only is socializing a skill, but this whole like you could call it courting, call it whatever you want. That's also a skill. Like communicating with a woman is a skill, and like picking up on those cues.
Yeah,
it's not because a dude just plays dumb otherwise by default.
Well, also, Clay, I think, and then she got like a real big crush on me, and I think it's because I didn't act like a dick, but I was so indifferent because I didn't think I was just ignoring her, kind of, and so she called me like out of the blue, like she got my number, like stuck it from Annette, and I still didn't get it right. I'm like, "Oh, hi, what's up?"
Oh,
and I'm like, and we're talking on the phone, and she's like trying to have phone sex with me. I'm like, "Wait a minute, do you like me?"
Damn. And then what happened? Did something happen between you guys? Did you end up dating?
No, she demanded like come over the next day and like get with me.
Clayton, you are very curious about people's sex lives.
Well, I just, I mean, it's fun to talk about.
Well, no, this one was special to me because she rejected me as a fat kid.
Yeah.
And suddenly she saw me 3 years later and was like all over me, right? And that was very
Clayton
gratifying
dives
to me.
deep into like people's sex lives. He's like, so, what was she wearing?
Yeah, I want to
There you
know.
go.
I want to picture everything.
Did you smack her on the ass?
Yeah.
No, but like
that.
I'm just illustrating it because to show you how stupid I was. I didn't even pick up on it like halfway through the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, you like me?
But that's so true, right? Like, I completely and 100% empathize with that because I went through that too.
Mhm.
It's a funny feeling, man, that you shake off later on in life. I've noticed.
Yeah, now I'm hyper aware to it, but then
Yeah.
I was like I said, I don't want to even think about it because I blew so many opportunities.
Yeah, I know. It's
So
those regrets are the worst because it had so much potential, But then you might not be here, right? And maybe here is a good place to be in comparison to the alternative, whatever that might have been.
I
What
was
is
just
that
I was
says
like
bone boning?
yes, I was a nerd, but I was also a very attractive nerd, Grimmer.
Will had me too foreknowledge.
Me too, for knowledge. Yeah, see, I was a perfect gentleman in high school. I was a
Yeah,
perfect
you're like
gentleman because I was
Keanu
stupid.
Reeves.
Yes, exactly. I was like Saint Keanu, except shorter.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think these conversations are cool because we're all buddies here, and this is, let's face it, what we'll talk about with our buddies most of the time. Although I will say, I'm a bad influence, and you might regret opening up on these streams. I know I probably will one day. I'll be like, I'll definitely be cancelled. Someone is going to clip me talking some shit, and I'm going to be like, they'll ask me, Clayton, did you say this?
You're gonna say something
And
with
I'll be
Hitler in the
like, yes, I
sentence,
definitely
and they're gonna
said
clip
that.
it.
Yeah.
I have a I don't give a fuck attitude, so like
Lola doesn't care because Lola lives in a mansion on top of a hill, and
what?
she's got thousands of liters of water stored up and a bunch of like MREs and thousands of rounds of ammunition.
Yeah.
Um,
Totally.
she doesn't have to worry about anything.
No. I think that's cool. Okay, the coolest thing about this community is the realness. I like the realness of us all.
No, like
People
I
connect with
used to
that.
be that person. Hold on. I used to be that person that worried about what everyone thought and what I said, and like I would never ever have conversations within mixed company, right? Like I wouldn't even mention sex within mixed company. But I got to a point that I was like, why not? Like, what's wrong with talking about it with people that you're around that you know what I mean? Like I said, growing up, my mom was very open about it, and like she would make comments that would just like embarrass the shit out of you in like a crowded room.
What was that? That song in Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah, I'm trying to remember that like sex song that was playing.
Man, I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, when they're like they're trying to hit it with the Omega moves, and they're like, there's like a gulf between them, like the Red Sea is parted, and nobody's talking to each other because they're both nerds. And there's like this like really raunchy ass song playing, and nobody's dancing.
Yeah.
No, it's "Are You Ready for the Sex?" That's what it's called.
Oh, how's it go? Sing it for us.
I think it's like art. Like, I'm not going to sing. It's too awful. It's
Plus, you probably don't want to
Wait,
get like copyright claims.
Are you gonna tell me that you lost your virginity to that song?
Me?
No.
No, it was dead silent when I did.
I was probably losing it to something that, like, probably whatever I was into back then. Linkin Park or Marilyn Manson or something like
Now,
that.
later on, Rob Zombie was like the ultimate aphrodisiac for crazy women.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, like, really hot, nutty women like Rob Zombie.
On that note, we are going to end this stream. 2 hours in, I think it's time that we call it a night.
Otherwise,
I feel
it
better.
starts getting real crazy.
I got on the show kind of high strung and pissed off, and now I feel a little better.
See? That's what's awesome, man, about these
No, like
streams.
you brought up Crazy Women and Rob Zombie, and I'm like, I'm a huge Rob Zombie fan. Like one of the reasons I married my husband was because he looked like Rob Zombie to me.
Whoa, you so nailed it, Will.
See, you like that, Lola?
I love like just that whole look. Like before Rob Zombie lost his weight, right? Like he had that like chubbiness in his face, and like he had the long dreadlocks.
Yeah, he looked like a totally different person.
Yeah,
like a completely different person.
Yeah, and my husband reminded me of him.
Is he like? Is Rob Zombie tall?
Huh?
Your husband looks like Rob Zombie?
He did when I met him.
Is Rob Zombie actually tall? I don't know. Is he tall or is he like a normal sized guy?
He looks tall.
Like, but all actors and like Hollywood people look
I
tall.
imagine
Like,
he's at least 6'2", maybe.
Okay, and your husband is what?
Almost 6'7".
Oh, Jesus, you're married to a giant.
Shit.
Yeah.
Your husband sounds cool.
Hey,
Like, yeah.
he's one of the frost
No,
giants.
he's mean. He puts everything on the top shelf.
And how tall are you, Lola?
5'6".
So
and
you're
it's
like
some
you're like a midget.
change.
That's like average for a lady, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, I hit something on the head. I like unlocked something in Lola's brain, but that man got me laid a lot because his music just does something Dionysian to women. It's like a bacchanal.
Well, it's
So-
like it's energetic, right? But it's kind of dark,
Mhm.
and it's like it gets the blood pumping.
Yeah, like an ex girlfriend of mine was like loved House of a Thousand Corpses and that soundtrack.
Yeah.
It was
So
a good soundtrack.
you know,
Now there's a
Thunder
movie to watch on a
is a damn
birthday.
good song. That's all I'm gonna say.
she made me go see The Devil's Rejects. And I was very uncomfortable. She's a sick broad, and she loved that movie.
Dude, awesome. That'd be a
So
big checkbox ticked for me.
she
Although-
she was nuts, but in a high IQ to boot.
Oh wow, then you're
So-
definitely in trouble.
Yes, and that because high IQs of women comes with what?
Well, I'm just glad you still have your mind intact.
Some things aren't intact.
Okay, just this one time, Skip. I'm gonna keep going, and if you don't come on here, I'm gonna be so mad. I'm gonna go out there and spread some crazy fucking rumor about you and Bancroft.
Wait,
Ooh.
is Bancroft seeing someone?
It'll
I
be
mean, I
Skip
do have
Edwards.
to
If
go
Skip
and I
Edwards
just-
don't hop on here.
He might.
Well,
He's
high
asking me to
IQ
keep going.
high IQ women usually comes with crazy.
Yeah,
You think so?
and
Yes, I know so.
they're always playing like 4D chess with you, and that's
Yes.
just way above my pay grade.
And this one was like she came off as retarded, but she was busy.
Nah, dude, they're the worst ones.
That's what made her funny because she was like retarded funny, but like she was always observing and she was remembering.
Oh yeah,
Like she could crack codes. She was very good at patterns.
isn't that the worst? Sometimes when a chick remembers some conversation I had that I don't remember, I just say, no, you're wrong. I don't remember that. And in my mind, I go, well, you can't be remembering that. Like, you might just be making shit up.
See, I've been questioning that lately with a certain someone, because they have a very
Yeah.
good memory, and I'm like, did I really say that? And I'm thinking, okay, fine, I'm going to default to honesty.
Women always have a really good memory, whether we actually remember it or not. We remember it. Trust me.
Well, I mean, I'll
I
just
just
say I
go
misspoke if I said something, but sometimes I feel like, are you really saying that? Like, did I really say that? So
Yeah. Or you just say, I've grown a lot since then. And
I think Skip is afraid of vaginas.
Oh.
There, I
Well,
said it.
are you going to call it Lola?
I'm calling out Skip right now for being afraid of vaginas.
Because I'm going to go to bed and cry myself to bed on my huge pillow.
Yeah, I gotta go now too, like nowish.
Yes, John, I have shared where I'm from.
I'm a little annoyed that Grimmer didn't come on. She was being a little little punk.
Wait, so Skip's afraid of vaginas? I didn't know that about Skip.
No, not really. No, but that's the rumor I'm going to spread. Like if I don't get him on here one day.
Oh, I know, not really, but let's pretend like it's real.
All right, I'm gonna call it, you guys. I think it's been a good stream. We've had some good conversations, so I appreciate you guys coming on.
I came in guns
all of
blazing. I was
you who
happy.
Stuck with us. Do what?
I came in guns blazing. I was happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I just came with feminism.
So who's gonna sing us out? Because Jason's not here.
What?
Clayton,
I can't-
sing.
Sing.
No, I can't sing. You don't want to hear that.
Yo,
You really don't
hi
wanna
ho, hi ho, the way we go. Do 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 do
Bye, everybody.
do 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 do.